Welcome to the close, 2 p.m. That means a couple hours left. That means the Fed decision is just out. And as expected, guys, a 0.25% hike there, as expected. So in line, that was never going to be in question. So we do get the 0.25 point hike on interest rates. We will sift through the statement that has accompanied this decision. We'll get underway here right off the bat and into the markets. But as no one, or it shouldn't surprise anyone, I guess, 0.25% hike, guys, for interest rates.
No. Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, right now, so the market's heading to the downside, down that 1.86%. Let's see where we go from here. Nothing really. I was pretty light heading into this, so we'll wait to see. We were into Palantir. We took a little bit out, just waiting to see what that number was coming out as, and then we bounced off of this 1140. So we'll get back into Palantir right now. Roblox, a nice little 70-cent winner to the short side right now, but again, just moving around. I put it in the chat, man. This is all baked in, right? We already know this is coming through. So I was not really expecting anything. What we're waiting for is Jerome Powell to start talking, right?
Yeah, that's the key. Like, what is he going to say? Like, we're going to get, like, how many hikes this year? Probably baked in that 6. But also, what's going on with the balance sheet? I'd love to hear that. I was looking for a specific snap trade off of a dip, and I'm looking at the Qs here with 333. And it might have given it to you if you went to 334 and you could have had $1 in there. I decided I only want the bottoms, but now it's already starting to come back in. That was my 15 minutes keep in perspective. But that first candle down gave you a full retracement for $1. I don't want it the second time through. Right. We're going to pick a direction, and the direction is going to be down. I was really only looking for a quick little dip buy. Now you're accelerating. All I got is UAVS, which doesn't care, and BKE, which doesn't care. You got everything out flat going into this. BKE looks like it's actually heading back into the downside. We're still short that. But if we can hold this 13.6 on the NASDAQ futures, then there are some levels that could come into play here. One of them, which I am watching, is going to be AMD. We traded that earlier. And it's starting to come right back into its afternoon lows, that 111. So these bounces starting to come in at these support levels from earlier.
Yeah, so we'll take long Palantir. See if there's a little bit of a bounce back upside right now. So we're long Palantir. We'll push that trigger. We wanted to get long Facebook. I don't know why we didn't there. We're bidding 198.02. Goes down to 198.01. So I'm not sure what happened there. But I do like the longs right now. The market is coming back up to the upside. Damn it, we should be long Facebook right there. Maybe we'll get out of some Roblox. It just made a move right into this level. We should have been out there. We're going to hold on to this one. But we did reverse the long into Palantir right here. Big position, long 43 right now. Just watch these futures. Look, we said it was baked in, man. There's the move down. There's the move back up. So we're basically as if they didn't release anything. It's going to come to the talk. What is he going to say? Going to be hawkish? Going to be dovish? Is he going to talk about inflation? Let's go. There goes Palantir to the upside, guys. Nice little win here.
Yeah, and there goes a firm, which was that was a good fade off of $33. It's looking like it's heading right back towards it. I want something that I can try to short off the highs of the day. This bounced off VWAP here. You can see like the wick down. Now we're coming back up. If I get another chance at 32.5, I'm going to go ahead and take it. I do have to at least think about getting out of this BKE. It couldn't break the lows when the futures just fell there. If it bounces one more time, going to have to accept the fact that this does not want to go. And as quickly as we talked about AMD, yeah, it goes right back to 113, and now it's coming right back into these lows. So this time, I'm going to sit on that bid in front of it. It's 111.5. Looks like the key level on AMD, 111.5, where it dipped on that number. I'm going to get in front of that bid as BKE now testing for the last time. If it can't break 14 here, I'm just going to get out of it. It might not have $1 in that move.
Oh, man, we shouldn't have, instead of talking to you guys, and this is the problem with trading sometimes, I got caught up and obviously did not get out of that Palantir trade. So now we're going to go up to the upside. I feel like we're having some issues right now because I should be out of some of those shares there. I offered 45. It just ran through me. So we'll have to update this. But right now, let's go. We're going to the upside here, hopefully on Palantir. But we're going to drop it if it goes below this 37. We did take that fill. So here it comes back in. We do take that Facebook long. But look, the market is coming back in right now. I don't know what they're expecting. So I think that's the best thing to do is just to sort of hold on, wait until we get a flush one way or the other. We are heading back down here on the NASDAQ. So we'll try to rest on some of these trades. But it does look like it wants to head lower now. Powell going to save the day at 215, I believe. But until then, we got to wait. There are always prepared remarks. So we can wait for those as well. What's up, Brendan?
Here it is. This is the statement that accompanied the rate decision there at 2 p.m. Everything in red you see is different from the last one. So there is quite a bit that has been changed in the statement going back to the last one. Nothing significant, but still reading through this, guys.
Yeah, that's a lot that's different, but realistically, if you're playing insider range, you can still go ahead with a plan. Otherwise, I would say back off and sort of digest, let the market pick a side. I did finally get this AMD, and I just wanted to play off of this level. I jump in front. Now it's immediately retesting those lows. Now remember, this is not day's lows, it's range lows from this afternoon. So it's really only about 50 cents worth of risk, and that's what I think I want to be playing around with. Nothing too crazy beyond that. I just don't feel like I want to jump out in front of a number like this and get too far out of bounds, right? Like you can hold on to something in the money, but I don't want to have a gigantic stop when we're trying to pick a direction here. And here's another name that I got looked out of this morning, by the way. DT just made a big move to the downside. So I think we're coming southbound here. I just watched a firm roll over. I was trying to grab this to the short side if it could have popped, and now it's broken through support at 31.30. So I need to find myself a short to balance this out, because AMD immediately, it might take that 50-cent hit. It was good this morning, but I have that tight stop on it. If it can hold that 50, and I'm talking 111.50, then we're okay. I need to get into a firm here. If it can give me something in front of VWAP, I think this name to the short side, which was good off of that top, can be the play for me.
All right, we pushed the reload here on Facebook down to 197. I'm basically layered all the way down into here to take down this bottom, 194.50. We had a monster trade on Facebook already, $6 today. Not that I think this is going to be $6 worth, because I don't, but we are loaded in now into Facebook. We do have $1. The winner that I have on board right now is Roblox, $1.80 short right now in the money on Roblox. I think this is worth holding it just in case we do explode, because we are long now Facebook into this. We still have our Ford short, and we tweeted this out earlier. Scalp, 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 scalp all the way here. And then Ford now making new bottoms. Well, we'll see if it does. I mean, I don't know if it makes the bottom at 930 there, but trying to go down. So we got short Ford, we got short Roblox, we got long Facebook right now. I think this can work, man. We're flat on this. We're long at 197.65. So as the market starts to get back up, let's take our first piece out here, 198.50 or so. If we can get that right back here, then we'll take that out, and then we'll see where we go. But long Palantir, long Facebook right now, both trying to work out, but Palantir still has a little bit of work to do. Back up to 40. There it goes. Let's go. We're long 39 on Palantir and Facebook. Go.
Yeah, we just had a good spike there in the futures a little bit. I want to try to capitalize on this just because it's been in this range, and I don't know that we're ready to break out of it. So, if we're only going to get to, say, VWAP on AMD, if I'm watching my futures chart, I'll just quickly show you. It's just faster for me. You've made the bottom from this morning at 13.6 on the NASDAQ, and then just come right back up, and we're challenging inside of the range. So if you're scalping on a stock and you've got a good level to work with, I think that makes a heck of a lot of sense. You can dig in something if you're sort of in the money and get aggressive with it. And a firm, I didn't get the fill. I'm sort of sitting in front of VWAP. This I want to play in the other direction, up 10%. Some of these names that have gotten the rally, quality-wise, I'm just going to say there's going to be profit taking on this event here. So I know it's up that 10%, but I stick with fading off the highs in something like in a firm. Whereas something quality like an AMD, you can try catching these bounces on weakness. Brendo?
Pretty vague on the comments, guys. As far as the accompanying statement goes, we're going to have to wait until 2:30 until he starts answering some questions, but they said it is still appropriate to reduce assets on the balance sheet coming at upcoming meetings, if you want to dig into that at all. 10-year, just watching the 10-year back to recent highs. We got above, this is an hourly chart, got above a couple of days ago there. So we're above 2.1 or 2.21, I should say, on the 10-year now.
Yeah, very descriptive there. Neil just said under his breath. Yeah, so, all right, just to review, guys, we did take out a nice little win there on Facebook. It was basically flat from our first entry there, but we did reload that down at 197. Now you're starting to come to the downside. We took off a little bit of pressure here on Palantir because we did get that all the way back up to VWAP there, which was a decent trade. And, I'm just not expecting much right now. You can see the futures. I mean, Brendan's going to keep coming if we hear anything on that one right now. It looks like 63% for 50 points next time is the new Fed probability. I'm not sure if Brendan just mentioned that, but that's what they're looking for. So maybe that's a downside move here. I don't know if they were looking for 25 next time, but it's 63% now, the current odds. Maybe if we have that page up, Brendo, that might be a good one there, the Fed rate monitor tool. But okay, here we go. Roblox to the downside. Here we go. A nice little move here as we continue this move. This is $1.70 now in the money on the short side for Roblox. 30 cents in the money for Ford there on that play as well. So shout out to Randy as that's playing out as well. But Facebook has turned around and is starting to come back in. My next bid on Facebook, guys, is not until 195.25 right here as the market's starting to crack lower, Brendan.
This is swinging around pretty wildly as well with the market, guys. Now 50.5. It was just 61% there for 50 to 75 coming up in May. So this is the CME Fed funds rate tool. So 50.5 now. They're even saying almost 50% for 0.75 on the hike, guys.
Yeah, and that'll do it. So first half we get out for a win on AMD. The second half will take the hit. I'm now trying to get more aggressive with a firm. 31 just broke. I want to see if I can't short it. Still the VWAP, but I want some shares in front of that level. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what GDP forecasts look like coming through. But the balance sheet talking about that starting next meeting, market ain't going to like that too much. And I think that's the next leg down. The futures just broke support. And I think if you were holding longs through this, a little bit dicey. Like I said, I wish I had a firm short. I don't have it. That BK doesn't seem to care what the market is doing, unfortunately. So hold on to your shorts if you got them. If the move is to be down, then that 100 points on the NASDAQ, 13.5, is likely your next stop. Just don't get, I wouldn't dig in too far, but if you got to work in short, nothing wrong with holding on. Brendan again?
All right, so the forecast now, guys, showing at the end of this year, the Fed funds rate will be at 1.9% to 2%. So do the math there. That's a bit of a window we have to now stretch to get from a quarter to a half all the way up to 1.9 by the end of the year.
All right. So there you go, the GDP forecast there, you know, in question, obviously, as we go. You can see the market not liking those talks here as we are now taking down basically new lows here in the market today. We just talked about it cracking through that 13.6. There it is now, and now we go lower, 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 all the way to the downside. That's why we cash out of those wins that we had, man. And now we got to play one way, and it looks like it's going to be southbound as Palantir cracking lower, guys, into this 11.15 area. I guess we could see if we take down 10.90. I mean, how bad is this going to be today for some of these names, man? I mean, you're right back in. We'll try one more reload here on Palantir, and then, hey, man, well, we didn't pick the wrong name. It's just this name is Tank City right now. We're not giving back our day, obviously, on Facebook because that's not what we're about to do. But you could see here Facebook also falling right back into these areas. Like, we still have the Roblox short, which is $2 in the money, but still, we are getting hit on these other longs. So Roblox now coming back in. You can see where we're short on this one, 41. Roblox coming right into this area again right now. I'd prefer the market to bounce because we got the long on Palantir and we have the long on Facebook, but I feel like I'm not at a spot yet where I have to get out of everything. I haven't heard anything that's that dramatic. This is a nice move down. I feel like when Powell comes to the stage, this could all turn a little bit. So we're going to try to hold on to this as much as we can, but at the same time, we are bleeding here to the downside, and we're acknowledging that the NASDAQ is making new lows. Obviously, every print is a new low here.
And worth mentioning, some of these names from earlier on, I'm talking Alibaba, still up 25%. That didn't even touch VWAP on this pullback. It's still above 96. There are names that are holding up relatively well. And I'm kicking myself because if you found something that was going to be that would pull back on the balance sheet rug getting pulled, then it was a firm. I just never got the short. Sometimes you just got to be a little bit more aggressive. I've canceled my orders. If it does come back up to VWAP, I'll fade it. But at this point, like, I've just watched it drop $1 when I tried twice to grab it, and liquidity is not fantastic. I do need to get out of this BEK. Anything that's not really that's up a bunch that isn't capitulating here, I don't love its chances to fall over. This just another one of the Chinese names, which are not falling the same way you're seeing like the NASDAQ go. So I'm going to lock in my profit, just get flat on this. It didn't give me the move that I anticipated. I feel like if Bob or some of those other names had rolled over, this would have flushed. That hasn't happened, so we'll take profit. There was news on, you'll see me in now UAVS. There was news on this earlier. Biden talking about drones. It bounced twice off $1. That's all I'm playing. It breaks $1. I'm out of this thing. I'm only long in front of $1. Brendo?
All right, employment forecast now, guys, in line with expectations. Not exciting. They said 3.5% at the last meeting by the end of this year. Again, reiterating 3.5% for employment by the end of the year.
Come on, Powell. We need him to come in here and save this market. I don't really have an out here for Palantir, but I mean, maybe this 11.15, something like that to the downside, but we're going to have to just hope that it comes back up. We were trying to short DraftKings. I mean, we made a couple trades on DraftKings here. I was short, and then that's it, man. We basically got stopped out. We should still be short, but that was a name that I was looking to short here, and you know, we did have it, and I don't even know how we got stopped out. I think it was just we went short here against that 50 period, and obviously holding it into this Fed meeting would have been the right play. But again, I wasn't sure which way we were going. We did talk about the major rally coming to an end once 2 p.m. came, and that's basically what's happened here. So watch out. Again, DraftKings might be a good long here at 1750 as we're approaching that VWAP. But we need, you know, in order to go long, you need this market to get back here. The 50 period is well away from now. So, you know, hold your shorts like we keep saying here until that happens. I mean, I have the Roblox and I have the Ford. Ford trying to get to day's low as well. Roblox is already there. Well, not actually. It's already broken this little area, but Roblox trying to make the move down, and then Palantir, we've dug into this one. So, you know, on a move back up, I still think Palantir gets back to VWAP, and it's been a strong name, strong into this level right here, so that's why we're loaded up, and you can see our average price is 34. We're out of Palantir a dime right now, so I mean, this is not really worth worrying about. It's just giving you an update on our positions.
Yeah, and of course, I went to look back over at AMD. Thank goodness we had a relatively tight stop on it. You're going to see it break down here. That 110 level from the morning, I was just geared up, like, is it going to hit the 110? That's what we liked. Obviously, last week, yesterday and last week, this 110 had been resistance. Now you're seeing it as potential support. That's about the only line in the sand that I'm staring at that I really love. Keep an eye on volatility. This is UVXY, check VIX, whatever you like. But you're coming to those morning highs. So if you're looking to grab a long off the bottom, you probably don't want this to be breaking out. So as long as you're below these levels and you can find something at support that you like, you don't want volatility taking out the top when you're trying to find a bottom on an individual name, which just got flushed out a little bit. So that's going to be the approach. I stick to what has worked. I want a firm to the short side. This is a name. It's made a nice top. It shouldn't have been up 15%. Obviously, distressed names got that bump today. If it comes anywhere near that 31 again, we'll be fading it to be sure. And Micron was relatively strong. Its dip hasn't been as big as AMD's there. Otherwise, I'd probably be looking at this one as well. 76 this morning was our dip buy price. It didn't quite get there. So I'd like to see it off of that level. If my stop is going to be at 76 from earlier today, I don't know that I love a 77 long. It's a little bit far away. I think you want to keep things a little bit tighter to the chest or to the vest, whatever you want to say it. But that's only because, guess what? We have Powell coming through, which can shock the market. So why take a long at a level you don't love? You can like the direction, make sure it's at a level you love, because I feel like every level gets tested in whipsaw action, and that's what we're getting here. Brendan?
One group going to be affected by higher interest rates, guys, home builders, people obviously having to pay more for mortgages. So just saw Lennar popping up here straight to the downside ever since that came out as well.
All right, we're going to take out some weakness. I was just trying to get some 30s there on Palantir. We're long 34. I was trying to get out a little bit of 30 there just because, you know, if this does fall, I mean, like Neil said, we're a little whippy right now. And I don't need to be in anything. I thought a bump, well, I do need to be in something. We're trying to make some cash. But I did think a little bump up in those futures would have been a nice spot to get out of some Palantir. So what the hell is, oops, there we go. Ooh, took 29 there real fast. Put an offer and it got filled right away. But okay, we'll take out some pressure there. That is a 5-cent hit on Palantir, but we're just out of 15% there. So a little bit nervous because we do have the Facebook long and we do have this Palantir long. So now no more outs, guys. If we can get this back to 40, then we'll take that. I was debating getting out of this right here, the Roblox trade, but I want to have something short in case this does fail. So we're going to have something short in case we fail here, and I'm going to take Roblox. We've already hit Roblox really nicely to the short side, the same as our Ford. So we're just going to sort of watch this name. You are seeing the futures bounce back up a little bit. So if we've learned anything from, you know, this time around, would be to try to hold. try to hold on to some of the trades that we have, and therefore, wait to make a bottom instead of like averaging in all the way down like we did sort of here on Palantir, right? If we just waited until it got into this area, then fine. But that's a hindsight. Like when you're talking about these things, it's like we have no idea where these markets are going. So sometimes like I think it's going to stop right here at 35, but it doesn't. It continues down. So a little more patience necessary on days like this, guys.
That's exactly the case. And to that point, like I just waited for a bit of a curl there on a firm. Like if it's going to go up, it's going to go up. But if it makes a bit of a move, slowing down for a couple of minutes on that last little bounce, I'll take a quick shot at it. But it's going to be a relatively tight stop. This one will be to 30.75 because I'm in between that 31 level, and we'll see if we can play it back down to the bottom. So I know the name that I want to be in, but I also understand that it can't just be dig in forever and have an unlimited stop when the stock has gone 15%. I see people throwing names at us. Look, I like Marvell. Just obviously anything. Oh, come on. I saw that get thrown at me. Anything that's in that chip space was relatively strong and then retested those lows. If it broke the low, relatively weak, don't want to be long it. If it held the low, relatively strong, I want to consider it. Micron is on that list because it held some lows. Marvell took out the low there. AMD did as well, but Marvell in a bit of a precarious spot there. You got that wick off top. And the daily chart will show you a better story. Resisting that 200 period, couldn't get through in all that strength. I still like it down around $60 here, but it's relatively weak in that chip space because anything that took out that low on that move, well, the futures managed to hold 13.5. NASDAQ with a fresh low in Marvel, that's relative weakness.
Yeah, giving a little back here on the day, but Palantir, we did take some 34s, sorry, some 33s there on the outside there. I am looking to get more Facebook here, so if Facebook can come back into one, I mean, just so you guys know, that's a 195.50 bottom. I think that's probably worth looking at. But again, like, I guess I'll give back my whole day at some point here if we keep on doing this. But, so far so good. The market's not moving that much. We're out very, very small, like we're out 80 cents on Facebook, which honestly is probably worth a hold at this point. We could have just got out all for flat there. You look where we're long. We're long at 197.13. It just went to 197.02 there. So we could have got them all out for flat. But like like we keep mentioning, I feel like we just got to wait. The NASDAQ is just bouncing around. Like if you're playing extremes, then you're going to get stopped out. So sometimes you got to like wait for this to make a move here. And if it does continue to go down, then you just say, you know what, I'm long and I'm caught. And that's that. Like, have your outs, but at the same time, I feel like this is just bouncing around.
Yeah.
The NASDAQ right now isn't doing anything. Like, if there's more, the S&P just touched session lows, of course, 10 minutes ago, but we're going to wait to see what's moving. I mean, Shopify is moving upside. DraftKings, we just talked about that at 1770. Starbucks with a nice move today. Let's check out the king. What's Apple doing right now? Okay, so Apple, a lot less than the market. So we noticed that earlier on, that Apple was not as strong as the market. So giving back right now, Apple back only up 0.27. Look at that dump off from 2 o'clock, man. It was 157. So I guess Facebook isn't bleeding that hard compared to what this Apple move is saying right now. Yuck, that's pretty ugly. I don't mind this long, but maybe if you're going to play long, don't look on Apple because it's definitely weaker than the market unless you're playing relative strength and you just feel like it has catch up. But I haven't been watching enough today to make that comment. What's up, Ms. V?
Some of the Chinese stocks we were talking about in the morning, guys, showing all kinds of relative strength now. Here's Baidu right back to session highs. JD.com looking very similar. So the Chinese stocks don't really care about this so far.
NIO's not going up.
Yeah, so we're talking about some of those Chinese stocks holding up there. I want to show you NIO. I know somebody mentioned this as well, but I'm not saying this is a nothing burger. You're getting some pretty solid market movement, but overall, like there's 18% you're up on NIO, and you don't really have any fireworks. Okay, fine, we've rolled over from the top, but you're not retesting any of these lows. You're still within about a 50-cent range since we came in here, and that's just not a heck of a lot. Like I would have loved to see. I'm basically back and forth flat. Like a firm's gone 15 cents in the money since I got into it, and then back to flat. I would like it to do something before Powell comes on because at that point you have a stop and a take profit and you're flipping a coin waiting for some of those moves. So there is nothing wrong with holding back. If you're trading NIO, let's just say, maybe you're not doing anything until he gets on the line, and then you can watch for this 18 top or maybe test breaking the lows, and you can sit it out until he starts opening his mouth. Brendo?
Year-end GDP growth forecast now 2.8%. That's down from 4% at the prior meeting. They also raised their core CPI forecast 2.7 or from 2.7 to 4.1. So prior was at 2.7 by the end of the year, now 4.1 at the end of the year. So inflation not going anywhere, growth not going to be as good, guys.
So there you go. Growth not going to be as good. We talked
That
about.
doesn't sound good for the longs.
You know, that doesn't sound great for the long, obviously. I don't know if you have the money. Alan Atkins says
Yes, I do. Go ahead.
He said he hit a 110.50 on AMD. I liked 110, 110.50. That's a good bounce there. So on the 15 minute, that's what it looks like. I'm glad you took the scalp trade. That's what makes sense to do, right? Like my stop on my long was at 111.50. So it bounces off your 110.50 and goes right to what? Essentially 111.50. You got 60s in there for $1.10. Take your money and run. These are the types of trades you're looking for. As a matter of fact, when I look back at this, and I'm looking back at it right now, I shouldn't have been long at 112. I should have, 111.60. I said, make sure you get the price you want, because when it's whippy like this, you're probably going to get it. If you're testing support at 111.50, well, it's probably going to bounce off 111.50. Just extend that range a little bit here. I just wish we had a little bit more action in the next 5 minutes, just maybe to shake this one out on a firm. It's starting to roll over, but the worst thing, it starts to work for you, so I feel like I got a good level in here. But if it doesn't move in 3 or 4 minutes, none of that might matter. One word, and this stock could be up $1, and we could be back at 13.7 on the NASDAQ, and that's the kind of thing you have to anticipate. So if you don't have a stop on your trade and you're day trading, well, then maybe you shouldn't have one. There was a question. Yes, we are day trading. Yeah. We're flat at the end of the day. Like none of us are, we're not holding these overnight. Like I'm looking to get out of this trade. Forget about by 4 o'clock. I want to be out of this trade ideally in the next 5 minutes. That would be fine by me.
Yeah, I mean, we just want the money. I mean, we're trying to make that cash, and honestly, if the market doesn't cooperate, it doesn't cooperate, and that's what day trading is all about. You make your calls, and you just hope that you have enough of that in your pocket at the end of the day. We didn't go long again on Facebook. I'm just waiting for this thing to come back to 195.50. The problem is, I can't go long. I'm already long Palantir and Facebook. I've already dug into the long here. So, to go long again at 196 flat when it's bouncing, that doesn't seem right. So we're going to wait to see if we can get a move down to the lows on Facebook, which wouldn't be good. So it's not that I want that print. It's just I want to average into this. And I think that when Powell comes back, comes on, which should be 3 minutes from now, 2:30, I feel like there'll be some decent talk. But at the same time, like you just mentioned, you got to have out. So we're going to watch out for this out on Facebook here. Literally the low of the day, 194. If that cracks, man, that'll be bad. And we won't give back our day, but we'll give back enough of it. And then I'll be real peed off, and then we'll go long again if it breaks back above. But, I don't know where the bottom's going to be. So once you start breaking some levels, this 194 might bring us to 192. So if you're still holding the bag on all of these trades when this stuff comes through, then it's not good, right? And so you got to be very, very specific with what you're doing. And that brings me over to Sofi, the name that we know is strong, and that's been strong the last couple of days. Today, negative, right? And so that's another thing you want to look at. Yesterday, very, very strong into yesterday, into the close, ramped it all the way up, man. 280, at this time yesterday, Microsoft was 282, and it closed at 287. So right now, today, you're right back down to this 284 area. I like Sofi, but it's got to take this level, 286. It's got to get above here. We're red on the day for Sofi, so not expecting much from this name, but 286.70 or so would be a nice little long there as we did reload. And I don't know if this is going to work or not. We'll get ready to flush ourselves down the toilet, but there's another reload on Palantir, bringing down our average price and not really doing any damage to our net. So let's see if Palantir gets back upside. I still like this 50 period here. Facebook, again, dancing, not doing any moves. I don't know if you got your affirm or not, but the market's just doing absolutely nothing. So I guess everybody's on their hands here until Powell.
It just goes 15, 20 cents in the money, the affirm, and I can't get it to push. You know what? I should just, maybe I just will take at least something out of it. But I did get a new position on. I was looking for something that maybe was at the top that I could fade. And JD is up 31% and right near that 61 high. So I was sort of watching, where is something that I can short that I actually have a good level that maybe gone too far? And I know the Chinese names, I just finished saying they held up really nicely. But come on, you had a quadruple top at 61 here. This just screamed after 2 o'clock off VWAP all the way in to 60 half. So I got a 56. I can definitely take some out in front of 60 or at least high 59s, and that'll be 1-to-1 to this top. And then there's room to go. If Powell tanks this market, how can it not take some of these names with it? I understand the good headlines that came for some of these Chinese internet names, but really, no one's going to take profit on these. That's not going to make a lot of sense to people. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, I got a little bit out here on JD. Affirm, I was like, yeah, let's see if we can't get a little bit out there, and let's just go ahead and lock some of that in. I said I'd do it, and then you get this spike down, and I don't. So we'll shoot that one off. Basketball for you. March Madness is coming through. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that when markets settle down later on. But yeah, it looks like the market is going to retest some of those lows. So I like the shorts in weak names or names that gave me a good level to work off of. That's Affirm and JD for now. Probably the only two until we actually hear something coming out of Powell's old you-know-what.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here doing the same thing, man, just waiting for this to happen. It looks like it's going to be happening very, very soon, and it's prepared comments, so it's not, whatever. So here we go. Here comes the flush a little bit in the market. It looks like we're trying to take down those lows right now as he steps up. So I'm not pumping the long. Someone said I'm short here, Roblox, which is really nice short right here, $2 in the money now on the Roblox short. I'm just watching Palantir and Facebook. That's all. Those are the only longs that I have. And then look at this, man. We talked about Ford going back down to the bottom of the day. I have this short on still on Ford. So it's just a matter of watching these days go by here as the market right now actually making new lows right now as we're stepped up. What's up, Brendo?
The statement, guys, has begun. Fed Chair Powell at the podium as we speak. Wanted to mention oil here quickly as well, ending the day at session lows on huge sell volume as well. So right at the bottom for the oil stocks, not related obviously, but pretty weak for some of the oil stocks as well.
I'm not going to hit a celebratory key for the short and JD worked, but I actually keystroked out of it, reversing into a long up around $60. I got out of it flat. Well, I paid the spread on it, but now it's starting to come down. I don't want to chase this risk to reward. If I could have gotten back in at the same price that I got out at, fair enough, because then that's 1-to-1, but chasing it further doesn't make sense. Now with Affirm breaking the 30 level. Oh, here's what 30 looks like for you, by the way. This is the 30 level on Affirm. That looks pretty sweet if you look at the 15-minute chart. I'm now thinking the pre-market lows, that $29 range. If the market's going to come further down, I'm still taking everything out. Like if it breaks a key level, I just want to be playing down to the next one. I'm still not convinced you do anything more than that with these types of plays. So I went back to the well there. I wish I could say that I liked the short in AMD. That's now breaking 110. I think scalping the long made a ton of sense there. You get your win, you walk away. I didn't really have a short idea for this one. Would have been nice if I had, but now this is starting to come down. It closed at 109 or right around that yesterday, so maybe that can hold up.
Yeah, the market is just now making more and more lows. So as we watch some of our trades go into the money nicely, some of them out. So we are dug into Palantir the most. So that's the one that's going to hurt us the most here. And what a surprise. I haven't traded Palantir very much lately. And of course, we get into it today on this move when I was talking about shorting a stock like DraftKings or any of these other names. Facebook, I'm fine to dig into. We've had success with Facebook here. I do have this bottom ready to go here. If it takes it out, it takes it out, and we're gone on Facebook. But we have loaded up now on this name. It's not a full position, but it's decent. Obviously, when we get these reloads in here, we were waiting for that 195.50. We got it, bringing our average price down to 196.50. We're only out of the money $1. It just seems pretty dramatic because of the way this market is coming down now. Just there's no relief in it. So we're out of the money $1 on Facebook. That's going to have to be what it is right now. So we're going to have to hold on to that. We do have our outs, though, so it's not like we're just sitting here on our hands. We have our outs here for Facebook. If it continues to move down, it continues to move down. Sofi just went red on the day after being a monster. We did talk about this earlier, shorting it in the show, right? Remember that when we were shorting 875s? Now we don't have any on, and you're all the way down here. This could also be a long Sofi, but again, I'm not going to dig into a name like this when I'm already long everything else. If there's going to be something failing, it's going to be these weak names. That's why Palantir is getting hit a lot harder than a Facebook right now, right? And so all the way to the downside, keeps going. Sofi, again, I'm always looking to like catch these bottoms, but this
It's
bottom
8 even, bro.
is 8 even. So, I mean, that's what it's coming down to, 8 even right now. But we broke 8 even yesterday. You weren't here, but
okay.
8 even was pretty nasty for the last couple of days. Here, that was it yesterday? I don't even know, what is this? This is a 1-minute chart, so I got to get my 20-minute up, which is crash.
So I mean, the only reason I said that is when you're looking at falling swords and the market coming down, like if you get like a big stacked bid at an even dollar on something, I don't mind defending that. I just got the long in Micron there in front of 76. That's going back to the well from this morning. That was one of the 2 longs that I liked. So we'll see if it can work out. But the weakness is, pretty self-evident here. I'm not sure this one's going to be able to hold up, but I've got my out at 76. Brendo?
So Powell making some comments, guys, on an extremely tight labor market, also saying that they expect inflation to remain well above their target of 2%, obviously, for the foreseeable future. So no change really in how they see this playing out over the coming months. Inflation will take longer to return to the goal than initially expected. Yeah, not many positive comments so far.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it, that's for sure. Nope. I think like if we can get a 39 bid though on Roblox, we should probably take it. I mean, Roblox is now down way more. I mean, we were scalping this thing at 41 and taking these out at 40.60, right? And now we're getting an opportunity to take this down at 39.30. This is probably a good little level to get into for Roblox. Either the market continues to tank down and we'll just get, ruined on the rest of these trades that we have. But Palantir is right now down to 11. We just took our last little trade there. Watch out for this 1090. Like, I'm just going to wait for 1090. If it breaks, man, and it's going to be bad. But that is what it is. So we're going to try to see about Palantir to the downside right now. I don't know if Powell's coming to save anybody because right now this market is getting cracked. We're still up on the day, but considering where we've came from, there's really been no relief whatsoever. There was one little bounce there, which we were able to get some shares out. You guys saw me take those out on the Palantir and on Facebook. But other than that, there hasn't been much love for the longs, and this market probably wants to turn red. So watch out for this. I don't even know what the imbalances are going to be, but a little too early for those. We're not even talking about that. But, with a red imbalance, this market really could flush down. And we even said it. Remember when we were up 3%, I was like, this market can go red, especially on a Fed day. So just be careful with all of your trades here, guys. Again, watch your key levels.
I want to say the comment about the balance sheet, GDP, and the comment about the balance sheet just felt like that was a little bit more aggressive than maybe the market was anticipating, because if they go to 9, anticipated 9 trillion balance sheet to 6 trillion.
Yikes.
And start that sooner. It's going to take years for them to get there. But I need to do this to myself for a little bit here. And look, I might just get my first profit target on Micron, but that doesn't make it okay, because remember I said to you guys, I'm looking to catch those bids in front of a key level. I didn't necessarily want that if we got a breakout in volatility. And that did happen, and I still took the bid. Now it's reversing here, which might end up working out in my favor and give me, you know what, I should just be taking this. Why? Hate when you wait for an extra like 3 or 4 cents, and then it's like, and then it doesn't want to give it to you. So whatever, Micron. I'm just going to take the gift if you want to give it to me. Gimme. But the market coming back in here, bouncing, is a lot to do with VIX breaking out and then rejecting back in. Like, ideally, when you're catching a bottom, you'd rather get the curl on the VIX, like catch that top, and if you like a stock long, punch in when it hits that top, instead of, I'm just kind of hoping, like it did there, that I had a good level on Micron and that we'd get a bit of a reverse in volatility. My next leg out on Micron is going to be in the 77.30 range. Every single trade, probably 77.25 now, just a little bit less than whatever I anticipate. 10 to 15 cents less than that, I think, is going to be the way to go. I just feel we're a bit counter trend here. Levels can hold up, but every trade is a scalp trade for me, at least until about 3 o'clock. I'm not sure we've settled in just yet. Overall, the move is clearly to the downside. I've let a firm come back, but I feel like I want to be short a firm for the duration on this one. Like, I know I could have had the dollar on that trade. To me, it just feels like this is going to be either a reload or a stop out on a firm, and this market is likely going to continue heading to the downside unless something really gives.
Yeah, we've just been getting real lucky, not lucky, I don't know if it's lucky or not, but we were buying these bottoms there all throughout, and now Palantir's starting to go back up, and we're just trying to like lick the wounds right now to the upside. Let's see if it can go. Come on, Facebook's back in the money now. So there's that bid that we were waiting for. We told you we were waiting for 195.50. We just take a piece out. That's 20% out, and that's just getting out for flat. 196.50 is where we're at. So now we're starting to go. That was my average price, was 196.50. Now it's a lot lower. It's 196.20. money. Let's see, man. The futures are starting to go now back up to the 50 period. I was like, are we going to get back to that 50 period? And it looks like we are right now. The NASDAQ was just almost red. Now you're up that 1% again. Maybe there's news. What's up, Brendo?
So it seems to the market liking the probability. So Fed Chair Powell is saying the probability of a recession isn't particularly elevated. So the market seemed like that isn't particularly elevated for a recession.
Hey, Powell, baby, we told you this guy was coming to save the day. Here he comes to save the day. It's Jerome Powell is here to stay, guys. So there it is, little Mighty Mouse. But let's go to the upside right now as we are happy. Thank you, Uncle Jerome, for stepping up and in the building.
Yeah, I mean, like that's definitely like no inflation. Well, inflation's still gonna be there, but recession is a word that started to get into that ethos with energy prices. Because if energy prices go up, you know that's been a drag. Apple just held. Well, sorry, it just turned back green.
Hey-o.
I don't want to say it held green because I know it ended up breaking down, but it's now turned back to the green side. We just got out. So we'll do this, we'll power up for Micron. Regardless of what happens in the bounce, I'm not really changing the plan. These are still gonna be scalp trades. We're gonna get in, we're gonna get out. It's a 76 bounce, it goes up through 77, got 77 and a quarter there. So each of these starting to work out pretty well here. AMD, if you're watching AMD instead, I understand that's a more popular name for a lot of people, same move. Bounces off of 110, comes into about a 112 level. Has yet to get back into VWAP, but crazy whipsaw action. Just make sure you have an out for every trade. Get your targets out there. There's been lots of opportunity for some winners in here as long as you got the levels.
There we go. Yeah, buddy. It's diamond hands. Bang right now as we go to the highest spot we've been at all day right now. I didn't think we'd be saying that 5 minutes ago. As here we go, $1.80 in the money now for Facebook. We never held this $1.80 against us, man. We held this $1 against us. Now it's $1.80 upside on Facebook, and we are rocking right now. Facebook, the #1 stock here net-wise. Oh no, Nvidia's going to be the #1 stock net-wise on the show, but Facebook #2 as we go to 198 now. Let's go. Let's see if we can get a piece out. I don't know if this pump is going to last or not, but I'm debating right now. I was at 197.63 there. Goes as high as 61, like as if. I can't keep doing this to myself. I'm just going to hit offer enter right now and take a piece out there. So we'll get a piece out there at 46.45 as it starts to rip to the upside. And again, let's not forget about where this market came from. We can go all the way back down again. So on that note, let's go again and go. And take out another piece of Palantir as we hit this bottom, man. I mean, it's all the way back up to the upside. Obviously, for us to mint on this thing, it needs to get back up to 1160. And I'm going to try now to give it that space, man. We're out of it. We still have more than half of our trade on right now. We're still in. I mean, we just took that out on Facebook. We're now in the money $2 on Facebook. We'll see if it goes back up to the upside. I'm going to put an offer right now at 199.37. So 199.37 is my target here for Facebook. Not even VWAP, man. Forget about VWAP. We need better than that. Actually, I scratched that. I'm going to put one at VWAP. 198.70. Wow, I changed my mind pretty fast. What's up, Brendo?
All right, so the turn comes here, guys, on Powell saying 2.8% economic growth, quote unquote, is still quite strong. So good job. He also said that if appropriate to move more quickly, they will do so. So the market's stalling out on that.
This is the best. This is the absolute best. Honestly, this is exactly, as day traders, it doesn't matter which way you're going. This is exactly what you want.
It's just giving you opportunity.
You want that volatility. You want, bang, you want these opportunities. Let's go, guys. We're jacked up again here today as we rocket to the top of the board here, guys. Palantir rocking, Facebook rocking, Roblox out at 40. I forgot to even mention that. Roblox got out there right there for that $2 win, or sorry, a $1.60 win, and now it's rocking to the upside. Man, Jerome Powell, I owe you a beer, my friend. Jerome Powell is in the building. Have a chicken sandwich. This is going to the upside like cray right now. Shout out to you, JP. You the man.
Yeah, NASDAQ futures, just a quick look here. It's easier for me to do this for you. We're right back to the first test to the downside, 13.6 half. Make sure you're also watching some sort of the VIX if you're trying to momentum trade these names, guys, because that just plunged right down into support. Support on UVXY just got put in. It just turned around off 19.5 and right down into 18 even. So this bouncing here, I'm going to get back into some shorts as now we're seeing volatility try to make a bit of a bounce. BABA broke $100. I know Prab was throwing it out there. So the Chinese names continuing to absolutely race to the upside. Crazy. $100 on Alibaba.
$3 winner on Facebook right here, guys. $3 on Facebook. A big-time win happening right here for that one. Palantir as well. Nice win here. There it is, right there at VWAP. Again, man, here we go. Like, look, I know this is going to be mad annoying, but like that run that we just went on, Neil was talking about, you know, looking at his heart rate during this, and I was like, you know what? Heart rate won't do anything during this time. But man, it started to get spicy there as we were dug in, man. So yeah, we are celebrating right now. It's unbelievable for me, this run back. Look where Palantir went. We have just under half left. We have 40% left. Well, a little bit less than 4. About 45% left, a little bit more than that on this Palantir trade. Neil, Facebook is $3 in the money alone on this trade, and Palantir 30 cents. I mean, this has been a big move back up. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually at 84, so it's up. My heart rate got elevated a little bit, but actually, I thought maybe I'd spike to 100 on some of those moves. Look, the crazy action has come all the way back. So a firm, which is originally, this is the price I wanted it short at 31 at the beginning of this move. We short 30.5, it goes down to 29.5. It's now right back to 31, so I'm right back in and short at 31. If you're watching AMD, that basically fell down from 113 to 110. It's at 113. So it's right back where it was before. Not every name has done that. I know some names have moved a little bit more, but this is crazy, crazy price action. Now, obviously, I look at a level like this, and I'm just thinking, you know, how do I not take a chance fading AMD here? You're risking a quarter. Give me a break, yeah. You're risking to 113 a quarter. Oh, as I'm saying it and watching that chart, you can see it already start to roll over there. Only need one offer. I'll still blink the play. I'll give it down to like 112.80, but all the opportunities are there. Make sure you get in. Some of those bottoms, pretty sweet. The 110, oh my goodness, the 110 on AMD was pretty much on the dime. But let's see what happens, guys. Brendo?
All right, the latest, guys. The committee is acutely aware of the need to return to price stability. It's clearly time to raise interest rates and shrink the balance sheet, coming from our friend, Mr. Powell.
What did you say?
Yeah, damn right he's our friend. We love Mr. Jerome. I don't even know what he said. We love Mr. Jerome Powell right now. As here we go, man. Facebook is now more than $3 in the money. We're just stone cold chilling now. I'm going to try to let some of these go. I wish we wouldn't have got out, but we are huge now. Look at Palantir. Let's effing go. This is exactly what we're talking about. It's floss time right now, Pratty Daddy. Let's go to the upside as we just keep on motoring, Neil. What a great time to trade.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take a back step here because these shorts are starting to get blown out. We're still gonna be up since the number came out, but really, I'm not giving it all back. AMG just took out the highs. Realistically, the NASDAQ is now almost back to where it was. So you're not positive from the Fed coming out, but you're now only points away. And UVXY, it just broke the low. That's another reason to cover. Now, Affirm's a different story because I still think you're kind of trash, but this VIX 17.5 is basically the next level that can hold up. It's a monster turn on volatility, and this is just the signal of the bottom. Like, it tried to break out. I think its last chance here is probably 1770 if you're watching UVXY. If you're trading the VIX, the levels are going to be exactly the same, Ms. V.
Hey guys, I hope that Fed event brought you some profitable trades. I took short on Tesla on its way to the downside, so good for me. And I want to remind you to smash the like button, team. We have more than 3,000 people watching, and we definitely need more likes. Back to you guys.
High five, yeah. Hey, look, Tron, man, Matt, appreciate this a lot. Sean's excitement is contagious. Hey, what's up, Ms. V? Yeah, we like Ms. V's hair today. Tron, honestly, thank you so much. Is that still Ms. V? All right. Randy on the good stuff today once again. But thank you guys. Look, this is why we're here, man. This is what we're doing. We got to bring the heat. We got to bring the action. And trust me, like, this is just part of the show. Like, when you have these big wins on board, you're going to get excited. I mean, that's just end of story. But you got to keep your emotions in check. And, when it's going up, we're just cashing that out, right, all the way back up to the upside. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day. We just tripled. Like, we were already having a great day, and we just tripled up from that bottom there. So like that's the kind of damage that we're doing right now to this market. We've tripled up from that bottom. So it's like, yeah, I am going to be excited, and that's part of the game. So shout out to everybody. Thank you for all the love once again on the show. And I think we've done an absolutely fantastic job. I mean, $4 in the money on Facebook is an absolutely crazy. And someone said I forgot about Ford. Nah, man, I forgot about Dre right now. I'm not forgetting about Ford at all. This comes all the way back up to the upside. I told you we had a small piece. I wanted this to go back up. So Ford, yeah, we should have got out at the bottom. There's no doubt about that. But honestly, the amount of money that we gave up on Ford is probably 1%. We dug into Palantir down here, like seriously. And that's something that we've been working on. I've talked about trying to find key levels. And yeah, we bring the heat, we bring the fire. That's what we do here on Trader TV Live. It is what it is.
And apparently play some Magic the Gathering, too. I don't think it's as profitable as trading, Bradley. So hopefully you made some shekels here in the market. We are getting a bit of a pullback now, that 13.7. And I just said, like, someone just asked, where do I think UVXY is going? I don't know. Like, I'm not predicting where it's going. All I'm simply saying is the next level down was this support. At 2 o'clock, we're at 1770. Right? Then we shot up, broke 19, and came back down and just bounced off 1770. So to me, the stock I like to short, which is a firm, that's an add at that point when we bounce off of it. So I'm just looking at VIX, and if it makes halfway the retracement that it did, all we did is go up, back, and come back to where we were. So if you liked something before at a key level, then volatility is back to where it was previously, and you can try and play in that same price level. So if I liked the firm in front of 32.5, 33 earlier, I just added to it. I'm watching the VIX. My stop is high today, and it's going to be that 1770. If that breaks, then volatility can come all the way to days low, which I think could be an interesting turn of events. Clearly, I could have hung on to Micron for another extra $1, but that's not the way I want to be able to play it. You can see it starting to roll back over. Again, another name that at 2 o'clock goes right back to where it was at 2. So that's another line in the sand that you can put in. Everything looks like it's turning at that particular price. What you want to see now is, can it hold higher lows? 77 is the key price level. That's where it held up the first time down before bouncing on Micron in particular. So that's the first level I'll look for along there. AMD, when it first came to the downside, it held 111.50. So as this tries to pull back, I'll look for that 111.50. I put my stop in and said, look, you can try to hold through something like this, fair enough. That ain't my game, man. I'm not just going to sit there. Yeah, it'll roll over right now, and that's all well and good. But I'm going to have my stop in 10 times out of 10 and then just take the heat there and then walk away from AMD. 111.50 I like for a bounce. I like Micron a little bit more just because it's been a relatively strong name. Brendo?
There we go. The Q&A has begun. That's always an exciting time. Here's the latest, guys. They haven't made any decisions on front-loading the policy or the tightening policy. So somebody asked whether they would front-load these hikes. If inflation reading shows the need to raise rates more quickly, they'll do so. So he keeps doubling down on that, but nothing terribly exciting. Just be aware, the Q&A has begun.
Right it.
The Q&A, baby.
It's a Q&A. It's all about the Q&A, and don't worry, Powell will still save the day. Okay, so we are, anyways, just calming down right now. I mean, it's 2:51. Let's see what happens during this Q&A. And if you've sort of learned anything from the show, look, Neil and I trade completely different styles, and that's the important thing about everything is that, and I said even on the chat, like Arun, like, would he scalp the futures? Would he play key levels? Whatever, right? Everybody trades completely different, and that's what we're here for, teaching you guys what our levels are, what we're looking at, things like that. Like when I was looking at this Facebook trade, honestly, part of me was like, that's not Facebook, is it? Yeah, it is. Part of me was debating getting out right here when we broke back down through 197 because we had this consolidation, but I sort of knew that we had a lot of action coming and that we were just going to have to go red right there. The market, Facebook was going to have to turn red on the day. Not that the stock would, but that these levels would have to break, and that was the bottom of the day. So I was holding out for that. That's a ballsy play, and if you lose on it, like I said, this is what this market's all about. It's like, you could easily have lost. Like if that just kept going, then I am down like 3 times my daily goal or something like that. Now that I'm up that much, it's just a matter of bouncing around, and that's part of it. If your account can hold risk, then you should take it, but it's about your strategies. That's why we always say back test, figure out your strategies, because right now, there we go, $4 now as Facebook taking out these highs right there to the upside. I hope the boys on the floor did good on this move. This was pretty clean. Like, a lot of stocks came back into levels that we just should have waited for, right? Palantir's now 40 cents in the money, and look where it came back to. It just came back to where we were earlier on in the day. Like, it's not like we had to hold something ridiculously against us or anything like that, right? It was just bang to the downside and then again to the upside. So it was about patience, and now there it is. Boom! We are now at, whoa, the highest spot we've been at all day as Palantir continues to rip to the south side here. And look, we're going to go to the trade of the day soon, but remember this NVIDIA trade? This is $10 there. It's still not back to those levels. So that's part of it. It's like, even though the NASDAQ is now up 2%, remember when we were almost red there? NVIDIA still not back. So you got to take advantage of some of these parabolic moves. And by the way, where did NVIDIA stop? 232. We should have another monster on this, but instead we were over there on Facebook and on Palantir. But there's a nice move back up to the upside. Don't forget about these levels on NVIDIA, man. That 232, that's a $10 winner. And right now we are just cooking. Facebook up to 199. You know, Seattle didn't let Russ cook, but the market is letting Sean cook. Let's go over to Brendan right now quickly for an update.
All right, a couple more, guys. We're going to jump over to a review here, but Powell's saying they're watching inflation report by report, so on a month-to-month basis, essentially. The Fed will also shrink its balance sheet to ensure that the rising inflation does not become entrenched. So a few things still to go. Again, the Q&A going on right now. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's take a pause here, though, and we'll go back and look at what we were trading a little bit this morning. Neil's going to walk us through one of his trades.
This is a trade where we get to learn all about price level. Going to talk a little about AMC, not a stock that I usually trade, but one where there was a setup and I liked it and we took the trade very, very clean, and it was all about the entry point, all about the expectation for where the move might go, and then just keeping it very, very simple. It did give you multiple cracks at this, so just sort of pay attention. We're going to go to the 15-minute here. A lot of times I'll do 15 or the daily chart. Just want to show you. Last week, we did have this, well, earlier this week and last week as well, we did have this area of support at 15. So I'm sort of showing you this here. You got that nice bounce off 15, and then you had this monster drop. You got a 16 all the way down to 14 move, and your retracement was dead on to 15 even. You then had the flush last couple of days and a bit of a recovery, and then you're retesting that 15 level in the pre-market. So the whole idea that support turns into resistance, broken, you're headed back to the upside. So that's your 15 entry point. This is just a pure breakout trade. It is not a buy the dip. It is a it breaks 15, we're going long. Now, obviously you have this nice consolidation area, your previous high for your out there. You can give it to those quarters or maybe a few extra pennies if you like. That doesn't come into play, so it didn't end up causing us any kind of concern. Now, if you look at the upward targets here, the only mistake, and I'm going to get to this top level here, which we should have held on to in a second, that was the mistake that we made. I was looking primarily at this first level at the 30s, and then where this fell off. And at 1550, this ran away from the price to the downside. So I was looking 30 and 50. You can see those are the executions that we're going to have out. Get out in front of the 30 level, get out in front of the 50. Now, it did make another test higher to 1570. And a lot of times when you're with the momentum and it starts to go, and on top of that, it even held a dip, right? So it holds a dip down. This should have been a re-entry at 15. And once you get that re-entry point, you're starting to think, where's your next obvious target? You've got a nice double top, lower high, right around that 1570 mark. Clearly, this was a missed opportunity to jump back into the trade-off of 15 and then ride it to that next high. Now, I'm not anticipating that AMC on Fed Day was going to make a move in the morning, breaking out of last week's highs. Never a thought in my mind. It was a pure momentum play through that 15 and then picking some good target points. It did give me a chance to dip at that price in front of 15s right around the end of our morning show, and it gave me a nice little scalp trade. Then we got out flat for the rest. But the key thing here was identifying the breakout level that we really liked. Had it run away from that price in the past? Yes, it had. So when it broke out, we loved it. I didn't didn't care much about the news yesterday. I think that was a bit of a nothing burger, but we should have reloaded this when it gave us the chance at 15. Nice little consolidation there. You can always try to get a little bit better with your executions. That can mean re-entry points. That can mean holding longer. That can mean holding to your stops. Whatever it is, you always want to be improving.
All right, so we get to, we just tagged exactly the level that we were at in the S&P before the actual release came out. So the entire move down completely wiped out. We're right back to where things started. And never fear, guys, because the last comment was they have a plan to raise rates over the remainder of the year. So never fear, Fed Chair Powell has a plan.
They better have a plan. They've had a long time to think about it.
Yeah, this has been, I mean, guys, we have multiple $5 winners on Facebook today, guys. The very first trade, well, right now we have a $5 winner on Facebook. The first time in the day we had a $5 winner, but we do the same thing. This time we get out of 2/3 and then hold the last third. This time we're only holding 20% because we got 20, 40, 60, 80, 1. So we just have this on board right now. And it's only $5 because of this bottom. It wouldn't this was $5 clean. 1 in, 1 out, right? That's $5 clean. This average price, as you guys know, was $196.50. So the average, and I really wish, like, I got to talk to we can't do it, so we've already talked about it, but, you know, to give you an average price so that, like, at least right now when you're seeing what we're in, you could say, okay, he's held this, and it's really only $3.50. So it looks like $5. But again, like, when I get out of this, so this is what happens. This is my first price, $198.12. So when I get out at $196, it's a $2 loser. That's where the math works. And then this trade gets out for flat, so that's flat. Then this trade gets out for $3 or whatever that is for the winner. And then and then plus that. Actually, I only have 4 ins and 5 outs, so it's a little bit different. But that's the point here about what we're trying to do, right? And it's not people asking, even when Neil was up there, you know, what's the average share size on a trade like that or whatever. And what I'm saying is, the difference about why we don't show share size, and well, we already know why we don't do that, but every strategy is a different size, right? Like, if Neil's going to short something that's going parabolic, it's not going to be on like a huge amount. I mean, I'll let you talk, but it's not going to be on a huge amount of share size because it could run you over. But on a trade, maybe like in a firm.
Share size irrelevant. The only thing that matters for share size is liquidity in the stock.
I'm just thinking like when.
Level.
The question was more like when would you up it, right? And I think that's the question is liquidity.
Liquidity is everything.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters is where you get in, where you get out, and how much liquidity. The only barrier to the amount of size you trade is your account, but also how much liquidity to execute your strategy. If you put more size than is available to you, and this is where a parabolic mover actually matters, because you'll hear me say something is halting, and it's like, that's all. It's only done 100,000 shares or 50,000 shares on the day. I don't want to touch it. It's because if it breaks, like, say a stock breaks $50 and it's gone from $20 to 50, it might fall $25. But if on that 50 break, there's no shares, when you put your stop at $50, you can't get out until it's halting up or like 60 or 55 or some ridiculous number. So I always have a line in the sand. You'll see me do it a million times. I actually, when we got up to do the trade of the day, I actually put my stop in the wrong spot on a firm, so I did get out of it. I just jumped right back in when it broke consolidation, but I'll put my stop back to where it should be because the firm did not break the 2 o'clock high at 32.50. So I did get out. I'm back in. I'll end up having to pay about 25 cents there in terms of spread, but that should have been right at 32.50. That did not come back up to that high. The VIX is making a bit of a turn if you're following it. Miss V, what's up?
Hey guys, we've got a super chat from Michael S. Palantir, thank you, great trade. Well, guys, again, thank you, Sean. It's indeed great trade. And if you want to support Sean, please go to his Twitter account, check his sticky note, retweet it and like. Sean posted every morning, and we all know how, guys, you like it. Even when Sean is not here, everybody is panicking because what are we going to do without sticky note? And also, please support the community. It's now not that busy as it used to be, so maybe you will find less than a second and smash the like button for your favorite trading community. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Ms. V, and thank you again for the super chat. Michael S. means a lot. And it's just, you know, also the acknowledgement, right? I mean, what we're doing here is tough. Like, to sit here and trade and like I said, almost have heart attacks on our positions. And then not only that, but explain them to you. That was like yesterday. Remember when I was in that Facebook trade, Arun was like, well, why are you in it? And then, you know, I had to explain myself, and that was a problem. So, but it still was a great trade. But, you know, here we go again with Palantir to the upside. Thank you for that. And just like Neil said, said, man, this is why we loaded the boat on this, man. There was tons of liquidity on Palantir, and as it was coming in, it hit some key levels, and I was just giving it to this 1090. That's all. Like, I was not. And this is where you get lucky. Like, this is why we're 3-4x right now. What we're trying to do is because it ripped this far. Like, I was not expecting that, or else we wouldn't have even got these out in the 40s. Back to the day's high, not only in Palantir, but in the market, was close to testing day's high there. Like, I was kind of mocking, would we get back to the 50 period? And we just ripped to the upside there. Not only that, but now this puts in it now 3 or 4 days in a row. We talked last Thursday, Friday on this exact show when I was like, we're going to rally into Fed for sure. I thought 2 p.m. might be the end of it. It looks like, I don't know if we just got started, but another big day here. One more time, another 2% for NASDAQ. The market was up, what was it, 2 and a bit yesterday. Looks like if we can hold, and that's a big if at this point, if we can hold the 2, I think we hold positive, but if we can hold the 2%, that's going to be back-to-back jacks. It's a good one. Good thing we loaded up on Apple. That was the only thing that we bought recently was Apple. So tried to get into, might have got into Magna today. That was another name that we were looking at, but I didn't get the trade confirmation, so I guess we did not yet.
So AUVAS, I should not have taken this one out. You're going to see right at about 2 o'clock, 2:30 actually when Powell started speaking, it was going nowhere. It's now broken out again. That dollar level looks like it is gold. It just got to 120. I'm looking 15-minute. Actually, going to go daily chart for you. Looks a little bit better here. $1.25 here, the 1 quarter. This was 2 weeks ago, March 1st. That's the high. That's the next level short. Doesn't matter if you got the long. At this point, you're looking for the next trade. It's gone 20% when I thought 10. So at this point, I'm looking for the short. It looks like it's got a lot of volume here. If you missed the story earlier, it was a drone name that went up on Biden talking. I don't think this market move up should matter to it. Overall, it's got its own piece of news. I'm just going to play the technicals on this and then see what happens next. I am tracking VIX as they are looking like they're coming right back to that 1770 level. We've bounced off it once. We'll see if we can bounce off it again. Everything just right back to where we were before. Micron, dip buy, not going to happen. We just came back to 77.5. I'm looking 77 even. We know it's strong. I still think it has a chance to roll back over. We did not get through the 2 p.m. high. There's another name that didn't get to its high of the day at 79.5. So there is room to run in both directions. I'm just anticipating there's at least a chance we can get a bit of a dip just left if the VIX can bounce.
Shout out to everybody there on the chat. What's up to Meat on Wheel? Oh, I like that one. What kind of a meat is it on said wheel? But good one there, and shout out to you as well. What's up to Steven? Thank you so much, or Steve, sorry. Tatarus, thank you so much for that. And by the way, I forgot to say something. We got a super chat earlier from Mike Crapo. He did correct me on the pronunciation of his name because it was C-R-A-P-O. So I said something else, but it's Crapo there. Thank you for that one. As we go, I'm in this. I'm holding this forward short. This is going to look ridiculous. But again, it's like, look at all these outs. You guys know how I trade 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So how much do you think I have left on this trade, right? There's 9 outs here. So you know how I trade. It is what it is. Ford is not a big trade for me here to the downside. It was great down there, and I'm really glad that we cashed out of Roblox. And this is what, again, we do the talk about share size and getting out and knowing your levels and things like that. Remember when it was down here and I was like, you know what, I think we should get out of Roblox? I actually put a bid in the middle here to get out, 39 flat, but we never got filled. And then when it took out the 50 period, and we could definitely see a change in tide here, the momentum was to the upside, and that's where we got out at 40. You always got to have your outs. Look where this was. 40 rate there, 40 rate here, plus it's a 40. So, those are key levels. That's what we're talking about. And that's, that's how you trade, man. You got to work off levels, because if you're not working off levels, then you're playing momentum. That's another strategy. So there's momentum and levels. But honestly, for your outs, like once you're in, you gotta have an out, either to the downside or to the upside. I'm not going to call up yesterday's sticky note where it said that I believe Alibaba's done going down. That was at 73. We had the long at $73. Well, 30% later, 33% today, again, Alibaba just continues to go up to that 102. I feel like this is a good opportunity to get the hell out of Alibaba, to be honest with you. It's a big move to the upside. We last bought, we sold. What am I talking about? We sold 130s up here when it was that Charlie Munger talk and everything like that. We felt bad. It was when it was down here, 112. We got out when it came up here into that 50 period, and then it kept going, and we're like, oh man, again. But now it's a nice move back up. I'm going to be debating selling more of this position. It's a bad one. We're logged now at like 160, something like that. But if you can get out of here at 115, that's not horrible for Alibaba. That's a name to look at. If there's anything else you guys want to look at, we almost, guys, honestly, we almost went long Sofi, and I can't believe we didn't, to be honest with you. Right down into here, 810. This is when Palantir was ripping my face off to the downside, so I didn't want to get in. But even Neil, remember we said it, and you were like, oh yeah, $8? Yeah, like there it is, man. We're using key dollar levels as our prices. Should have definitely, oh, we didn't do frustrating stocks, but this probably for me, just because we looked at it live, probably this would be the most frustrating because we didn't take it. We were short and it's fine, but honestly, SoFi down here, we should have had that trade for the long side. But hey, you can't dig into everything. We have a $4 winner on Facebook, so we'll take it.
I know my frustrating stock this morning. It's hands down Tesla, and I'll go to UAVS first because I just got into it. I thought 125 might be the curl. I saw it get to 121 there. Barcode a little bit, some offers stepped up. Someone actually stepped up on the bid. That's what got me in. Someone stepping up on the bid and just getting smoked. So it's close enough to that 125 that I might have to give it 2 shots at that level. Forget about the long. Once you've missed holding on to it, you just got to move on to the next trade. But Tesla, I know we didn't talk about the frustrating stocks. This will be frustrating for 2 reasons, because this morning, I was looking for a few longs. Micron was one of them on the dip. We were able to get it. Tesla was the other. I had the bid out at the open, looking for that flush down and then bounce trade. And then there was this candle. I don't know if you can, is that hard enough to see? Yeah, there you go. This candle right here at 927. It drops about $8 in 1 minute. And I'm just thinking to myself, that's a little bit fast. And I was on here with Arun like last Friday or 2 Fridays ago when I got a fill in AMD the same way and then didn't love it. It's like, well, I could have canceled the stupid offer on AMD that day and waited for 930. In this case, I canceled my Tesla bid, pulled it back, and would have been filled in front of that 800 level, only to see it go. And guess what just bounced off 800 again? Tesla. I know a lot of things bounced off lows, but in that moment after the Fed, know the bids that you like. Like essentially, when you've gone bottom to top, back and forth both times, anything that you liked at the low of the day in the morning for that type of a move, you should like later on in the session. I went back to Micron. I did not go back into Tesla, which is definitely going to be my mistake there. That's why it's going to be a frustrating one for me. It's not about winning or losing on it. It's more about the fact that it was one of the first things I saw when I came down. Ooh, I like Tesla in front of $800, and then I never got the long when it came in. You've got to get your A+ setups. That's the reality. You're going to take 100 trades or however many trades you take. It could be 5, it could be 3, it could be 1,000, and you're going to have X amount that are supposed to win, you expect to win, and some of them are going to be your best setups. All you can do is ensure that you get your best setups. Because when you lose, and it's your time to lose, you're just going to lose. And you got to be able to move on from it. But you have to be getting the trades that you have the best expectancy on and never miss out on them. UVAS, first bids are going to be 115 and then all the way down to 110. That's the ultimate target. Not shooting for anything less than that. If it gets to $1, I'm going long at $1 because I always defend that level.
Yo, shout out to Major League Baseball finally getting it done. Oh, our graphics not on right now, but I guess we're working on something. We will meet on wheels.
Why
we will
does it not
get
have
you.
my positions?
Yeah, it's because they're taking the positions down. Meet on wheels right now. We'll get you the contact for Greg in about a second. We'll throw that up on the board just because a lot of people are watching and you paid the $5, the best $5 you can pay right there if you can get an opportunity. You're looking for a spot on our trading floor behind us, man. Right now, 4 or 5. Traders back in the saddle and always looking for more. And why not hit it up right now as we have over 3,200 people watching. If we can hit the like button, I mean, I haven't done this in about 30 years on the show. There it is, 664 with 3,500 watching. 666, ominous right there. Let's get that up to 1,000 right now in the next 30 seconds. Look at the winners we have on. I mean, how much have you made on the Facebook trade? How much have you made on the Palantir trade, guys? I mean, let's just keep on going. Maybe the Roblox short you crushed. Maybe the Ford short you crushed. We're red on like very few names, man. It's crazy that we're red on NEO, considering that we had these longs. Unfortunately, it dipped against us, and then we got out there. But we're trading pretty hot fire today. So hit the like button. Mad love for everybody out there, whether or not you hit the button or not. Microsoft, wow, down to 283. We love that. Microsoft, that was our out there. It ripped up. I'm noting this though right now. Microsoft weak weak. Even though we're still up 0.78, look at this. The market's up 0.28, and the People's Trader says weak for Microsoft right now. I'd like to go short this name, possibly against this 290. Something to look at right now for Sofi. Although, like, I still think this market can rally higher, which is why I'm not going to go short. But if you think this market is turning over, which it may be, we have that a high right there of 13,785. You know, trade what you want to. But if you're looking for a short, for me, it wouldn't be Affirm, although we love the Affirm short. I know Neil's on that. If you want another name, look at Microsoft right here. I believe it's weaker than the market today. It's not one of these crazy names like a DraftKings, like an Aunt Kathy stock. This is Microsoft, and it's not, you know, performing with the market today. So into 290, I feel like you have some cover there for that. I'm cheering on the long, so I'm not going to take this short, but you know, if you were debating it, you might want to look at that. And on that note, guys, we are starting to get out here as Palantir's at the high of the day. And again, thanks for the credit on the chat.
So the question that was asked when you mentioned prop traders was, how do prop traders get paid? If you're a prop trader, that means you're trading firm capital. That means you get paid a commission, right? So it's going to be different other places, but day trader, well, it's a straight commission. You are trading on the firm's capital and the firm's risk structure. So you will have a daily stop loss limit because you're trading someone else's money in that particular case. So hopefully that answers your question. UAVS, which I just got into off 120s, I got 19s. So we get some out at 15s. We've already done that. Bids down to 110. That also happens to be VWAP. Charts are pretty bland here, but you know, a lot of times, like VWAP, it matters. This is almost a coincidence. VWAP just happens to be at that 110. It's $1 right here support. It's 110 previous high. It's 120 turn. It's coming halfway back. There's nothing too complicated about that for a target out on UAVS. Just coming back over to Micron, which I was still hoping we could get that dip. In Micron, now it looks like it's going to try and make the break of consolidation to the upside. That is going to set it up, and it's relatively strong. I like this for the longs a little bit better than the other chip names, just because it's been strong all day. It did catch an upgrade. That's why it was on our watch, but it's about to break out 78.50 through the top. So, as I say that, it just turned off 78.50, so not breaking out just yet. But I do like the 78.50 break on momentum. As long as we're testing the lows on the VIX, if we make a big spike up, I'll go ahead and cancel that order. But we are testing the lows on VIX.
Yeah, shout out to Frank Jones as well. Yeah, no, and Faisal. I actually didn't even see Faisal there that you wanted to talk about Microsoft, so I'm kind of glad I did. It's just, you know, natural for me to go over there to Microsoft. I don't think it's going down. That's not what I'm saying. I still like the long. I mean, I think the market's going to take out more highs, and if it does, then I wouldn't short anything, period. So, I mean, that's what that is. You already saw the shorts. I have the 12 cent. I mean, look, when I'm taking trades, like I'm trying to hit winners, right? Like big ones. And that's why, like, we held this all the way down. But, like, when nothing's happening, and this is what we're talking about with liquidity, like these little shorts on Roblox, 41.30s, right? Look where we're getting out, 41. 40.80, you know, this is before the market started going crazy. 40, like these again, 80, 90 cent winners. Then the market goes ham and it goes all the way back down, but then you got to make sure that you have some outs, and that's the out right there for that. So I'm just going to keep on holding, man. Palantir, I'm still waiting for 75 to come through on that one. Facebook's another $4 winner here for us on that. So yeah, prop trading's been good. We are going to get ready. We're doing it now. Okay, so we are going to get up. There it is, right in front of you. Gregory M. at Select. Look, it's Select Vantage. Not, I got some people messaging me.
Advantage.
Yeah, it's not Advantage. You don't got no advantage. It's Select Vantage. You got to select your own vantages.
We should drop it in the chat so people can cut and paste too, probably.
Yeah, we could drop that. Valeria,
make it easy.
Valeria, be all this. I got you, Henry, man. You like the energy. That's why we're here every single day. So, yeah, it's going to be a good one, man. I'm not here next week. Shout out to Nelson. I'm heading out to Miami, which should be fun. Never been to Miami. It's going to be a Miami Beach kind of life next week for 4 or 5 days. We'll be here, and then Arun and Neil will be holding down the fort. So send your resumes into there right now. But you have me for the rest of the week. It's actually today, a week today, and I'm gone. There goes Facebook right now still trying to go at that 200. Let's see if it tests. We're just going to right now test through $200 on Facebook. We're only long 195, $4.50 in the money now for Facebook.
Yeah, and I know Fed looking pretty dovish. Just going to quickly go back to the new level here, 13.8. I see some people talking about Powell still a little bit. He did get us back to this 13.8 level on the NASDAQ, by the way. When I'm talking futures, apologies if you're watching the ES. We tend to trade a lot of tech names and high value flyer names, and that usually follows the NASDAQ a bit more. That's why we're watching it. The 13.8 level could get taken out. Now, I am watching a Micron long for a break. I would want or need this 13.8 level to go. If I take a breakout, which I have the order for on Micron, and we resist this level at 13.8, I might decide to scale it back a little bit if there's a pullback off of that. I think you have to watch the futures. I did want to go over Sonnet. It did make a big move there before we came on. It actually made a bit of a move, but it made a secondary push through 60. It has pulled right back. It's got a lower high at 60 cents. It's going to do 250,000 shares, so it's got a lot of volume in it. It feels like it's made a bit of a top. At least that's my first gut instinct there. That's 15-minute already. That's my first gut instinct. But I want to see it try to press one more time. If it gets anywhere close to those highs, I want to be fading it off of those levels. Micron hasn't triggered in yet. But I'm willing to wait this one out. It hasn't been able to break this level. It's now consolidating higher. I only want it on the break. It's either breaking that 50 or I'm catching the dip to 77 where I like it.
I love it. There's Tyrone. People wondering, where's Tyrone? He's back right here. Miami, where the streets are made of cocaine. You know, that's good because I'm staying at...
That's not untrue.
Yeah, I'm staying at Fontainebleau, which is where Scarface... There's scenes in Scarface where we're staying. So we're staying at the hotel where Live nightclub is. So it should be a good one there. We'll lock the kids in the room and see if we can hit up some of those nightclubs there. Yeah, it's Music Week. Calvin Harris, Tiesto. There's tons of people that are going to be throwing down there. And it should be a lot of fun, but whatever. Apparently there's some nice ice cream shop there that we're going to be hitting up as well. So that should be a hell of a lot of fun. The MIA will be there. And shout out to Lumberjack Nation as well. So people wanted the Lumberjack Nation shout out there. That was yesterday. We were wearing the white and black Lumberjack with not a hat to match there. So shout out to Biggie Smalls as we're going. But look at Alibaba. I mean, shout out to anybody that was long Baba down there. Wow, 104 now, Alibaba. Ali Oxenfree, man, you have been freed, Alibaba. 35% to the upside. It's just funny how like one little report about delisting there changes the complete outlook. Like Alibaba's stock, guys, I mean, the market cap alone, let me just see what this is. Baba, the market cap on Alibaba alone, right, before this move, I'm assuming this is not going to be updated, 200 billion, which is monstrous, right? So just today alone, these dudes gain 30% on 200, $60 billion they gained today on a headline. So, you know, be very, very careful.
In fairness.
Yep.
In fairness,
yep.
It's essentially back to where it was last week.
No, I'm just saying what they gained today was unbelievable. And just as much as they lose it, like to lose that much on one day, it's just, that's how crazy these markets are, right? And glad you're joining us.
We sort of talked about this in context, right? Like the biggest days come because the market is so badly beaten up. So those percentage gains seem outsized, but relative to where the stocks have come from, they're just not that big. Like if you told me that Alibaba had moved $30 in 3 days when it was at $330, it's like, okay, that's nice to move 10% in 3 days. But when it hits that bottom, suddenly everything is a little bit different. Now, is 100 going to be that level that we can finally dig into and jump off of? The key thing for me is going to be, do you reestablish support somewhere in the range that we had? Because when it broke the 100 in that 96 area here, like look at the flush down. It was only a matter of 3 days to get down there. If it can break out of this support range and then on the first dip, hold one of these support levels, I don't care if it's 96 or 100, hold this channel and then go from there. That's what you want to see have happen for a lot of these names. Like I don't necessarily think it's over. The scalpers or the swing traders are probably thinking about taking some profit here. But overall, we'll see what happens with Bob in the next couple of days. I like that 96 to 100 channel. I did get Micron. I mean, yeah, positions are on, so you can see it. I did get that Micron. It did break to the upside. It's been relatively strong in the chip space. I'm looking first target, if you go back to these levels up here, 79 or so. So I want some out in front of that. And then I'm shooting for the high of the day, which I didn't hold for this morning. Wish we had, but that's about 79.5 on Micron. Is also getting to the top is AMD. You're now testing that high of the day, so that's going to be the long. I like the chip names today, so I'm going to stick with what was working earlier.
Oh man, yeah, I'm seeing everything here about it. Look, I see all the food calls and everything to go out in Miami. I'll send out an APB when I'm there. And apparently people saying don't wear the watch or any gold chains in Miami. I think it'll be okay, guys.
You're gonna get robbed.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's what they're saying. I ain't gonna get robbed. Come on, or am I? I don't know. It'd be fun. It would not be fun, I should say. Okay, there goes Palantir. The only thing we're doing right now is we're robbing the markets right now, and we're just going to the upside. I do feel like Robin Hood today, but we're not necessarily taking from the rich, or are we? Who sold Palantir down here at 11.11? I say thank you very much, as that's ripping to the upside now as we go. Facebook, how about that too? We like that one as that's mooning. We'll check out, maybe Space is mooning today too, as I don't know why I thought about it. Someone said visit Space Miami. That might be kind of cool, but I'm only there 5 days. Microsoft, there it goes, guys. Good call on Microsoft, whoever was talking about that. I was just saying that you could go short against that 289.90. If you did, you're out of that. It would have been a 40 cent hit or so. But again, I'm cheering the market long, and when it was up 2.2%, someone said, what about 4? So shout out to you, Dan Rowland. And I was like, yeah, what about 4? That's why we're holding on, boys and girls. We're holding on here. You can't hit home runs, unless you do that. We're going to do it right now. But again, it's about your share size too, right? Trade your own books. There goes Facebook, up a nice $5 now as the chicken dinner winner happens one more time for these longs. It's only $3.23 now, and we are cooking with gas on a lot of these names. NEO up to $18.60 right now. Uncle Jerome is here. That AGRI, that was one. I'm just looking at the board and thinking, like, what is down today? This is down 20-something%. Agri, or 12? I thought it was, only 13%.
But that's an agriculture.
Yeah, this is not a play on the market. No. But a nice little, I'm just looking at what's down. If you did like a short here, 1340, I thought it was moving a little bit more than it was because it just popped up on the trade rate scanner that I have on eSignal, but it's not doing anything. I don't know why it popped up there, but AGRI, a little bit of a misstep. There's actually nothing happening.
Yeah, nothing going on that one. UAVS is starting to make a move. I just got 10 cents away on my first target on MU there. Micron trying to make a move there. And we just got back to 120. Touched 121, which is the previous high. Again, rejected it, so I might go back to the well. You sucker me into it. I'll take the 120 offer if we can here and try to rinse and repeat it. If this breaks out, goes through the high, it has one more shot at $1.25. I think that can be an interesting level if it gets there. Sonnet was the other one. I thought it had a chance to make a move. You're not going to see it do much of anything right now. So up 108% and essentially barcoding. We talked about Alibaba 100, but the other name that had moved even farther than Alibaba was Didi. And I'm the same level that I liked this morning that never broke. That's back in for tomorrow, man. This 245 level, it held 245, but we're not breaking out on Didi. If we come back tomorrow and get a chance to short off the 245 level, we're definitely going to be taking it. This has not really gone for stock up 41%. It's been going sideways. That tends to mean when the market's bouncing that this is a little bit weak, despite the percentage move. Brendo?
Hope everyone enjoyed that, guys. The press conference has ended. So that was the Fed. We get the rate hike. We get basically all the comments we were expecting, and the market goes straight to the upside. Here's Adobe. They just announced they're going to expand their current partnership with Microsoft on some AI work. So just taking out day highs. I mean, this was at 424 an hour ago. Now we're right back to day highs.
Adobe.
Oh, Adobe, yeah. I mean, you know what another name I want to look at? We can look at Adobe here quickly as it's back. I mean, everything is rocking today. Anything that's beat down, even T-Doc that was down to $50 yesterday or whatever, is up to 59 today. So a nice move up. I guess it was 55. It's only up 10%. But there's Adobe. I mean, this is going to look like a lot of these, man. And we have Facebook. We have Palantir. A lot of the names, like I said, have done exactly this. Just rip to the upside. So Adobe is about as good of a company, honestly, that's been beat down that there is. Like, you know, if you're going to put your money into something right now on a name that's been beat down, that's now down like 30% from its highs, that's a legit name. I really think Adobe is one of those names that you can do that with. So I don't even know what their PE is. I don't know if it matters with Adobe.
What matters this year? It's actually not bad.
It's already down. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, as long as, I mean, you go long right now, 440. I mean, you have yesterday's bottom of 4 bills. 10% worth of risk to the downside. I think we get at least a 5.8, like 5.50, 5.60 there. I don't know, whatever. What's up, Ms. B?
Guys, we've received a lot of super chats today. Thank you guys for your generosity and your support. And special thank you to Isa Mohammed for sending 7th super chat today, especially for me. We love you guys. Please smash the like button. And back to Neil and Sean.
Absolutely. Look, what I meant by sort of Adobe is like valuation this year matters. It's a nice temp rally for sure. Not a heck of a lot has changed. Remember, everything is still pretty much as expected. And when the balance sheet starts coming down, if it goes 9 trillion to 6 trill, I don't care what anybody tries to tell you. If you think the market's going to be up when that's happening, you're going to get another chance for a pullback. But just worth noting, on the NASDAQ, on the 60-minute chart, this is now like a quadruple top, I should say, 13,860. If it takes this out, like I had a target to get more. I'm gonna get out at 3250, which should have been the original stop on a firm. But if we break this high in the NASDAQ, usually I want to get out at 350, but I feel like if this top gets taken, you want to hold through the imbalances. It's just too big of a level, right? Like last week's resistance point going into Fed is trying to be broken here in the next 100 points or so. So watching this key level. If you want to look at what's going on with some of the other beat up names here, I know you mentioned like Virgin Galactic or some of those others. If you just go to
just whatever, Clover.
Load up. Come on. I wanted to try to show Peloton, right? If you're looking for relative strength, relative weakness, Peloton just got green on the day, and it made the relief rally that everything else did. But as we extend through the highs, you're not really getting the same kind of follow through, and the volume is really tapering off. It was a low volume rally to get it back up, so it got dragged up by the market, but then there's no volume or continuation. You sort of preface that with what's going on with the chip names, like in AMD, like we're in Micron. That didn't flip. There we go. AMD, you're going to see the volume is holding steady the entire time for the move. You get the consolidation, and then you break higher. So if I'm looking for relative weakness, that's what I want to see. What extended past that first move? Because you get dragged up in the whipsaw action. That's just pure market capitulation. Bid drops on the news. It gets released. You come back out and levels out. What do you do next? Now you continue to the move to the upside. So anything that broke towards the high is showing you signs of relative strength. Peloton's just the first thing that came to mind when I looked at it. If you're watching NIO, again, I know it's a Chinese name, but it was strong going into this. And it looked like it was holding up. Looks like we should have had that breakout. They just broke out at that 1810 and is going even higher. So that's what you want to look for. What did it do after the market settled down? Not necessarily just caught up in that whipsaw action. Peloton showed you some weakness. NIO showing you that strength.
Yeah, honestly, I don't want to get into anything else right now. It's only 30 minutes to go. And I know yesterday Arun was like, it was like 2:30, and he's like, I'm done trading. But we'll see here. Yeah, he didn't have a great day yesterday, but shout out to Arun. Covered amazing, and he actually recovered pretty good there in the afternoon. It was just some calls early he wasn't happy with, but whatever. I mean, that's trading, right? I mean, it is what it is, but it was a great couple days, and glad to have Neil back. Look at Palantir up that 9%. We somehow got a bid there. Well, we mean it was an offer, but some bid came up and hit us at 11.79 there. And now we're almost out, man. We have 5% left of a little bit more than that, like 8% or so. The math is odd amount of shares, but about 7-8% left on this Palantir move. It was a great trade back to the upside and put us through the moon, man. This is my biggest day this month. So yeah, really happy, obviously, with some of the trades. And I mean, I couldn't be happier with Facebook today. We've changed it over. I was even talking to my kid who's on the floor right now as well. And I told him a couple days ago, I said, stop trading Coinbase and go over to Facebook. I've now hit 2 $5 winners today alone on Facebook. That's $10, right? $10 net on that, $10 there. So 5 and 5. So Facebook, sometimes you got to like.
What's wrong with Coinbase?
It sucks to trade. The spread is too big. It follows. Coinbase is not great for me anyways. So anyways, Facebook there, good little mover up to the upside. And yeah, nicely done there. I don't know, we're still $5 in the money. I'm thinking that we could fade out. We did make it, guys, all the way back to the high of the day, which we were talking about down here, all the way back up to the high of the day. 13,800 there coming through for the NASDAQ. So watch out for Facebook. And we're just going to play this the same way we always do, man. We got out right here for $5 once it took down that 50 period. If it does it again, it does it again. We're going to get out if this takes out 199.50. So we'll give this another $1 back down. Look, we're $5 in the money. If we give $1 back, so be it, right? So we're going to do that. We don't ever want to do it, but this is what what I'm talking about. You can't hold on forever. You can't average in forever on the downside. You can't hold it forever to the upside. If you want to swing something, different story. But for us, we're flat at the end of the day. There's only 30 minutes left. So, you know, if Facebook wants to pull back, then let that happen. We'll get out at 199.50 for, once again, another home run there for Facebook today. So good trading so far. I love Facebook.
I'm just going to quickly show you, we broke lows on VIX here, so we did take out that bottom, and now you're trying to make a bounce off 17. Now, it did take out 19 to the top, get about 30 points. UVXY, I know I'm looking at UVXY, it's just what we track here. It did make a bounce through that bottom, but it looks like it's trying to make another whipsaw action back both directions. I have Micron up because that's what we're into the long side. I took out, when we broke that low, we took out that affirm trade. Once it broke out on the VIX to the downside, I wanted to get out of it. Now you want to see if Micron can try to hold back at that re-entry point. That was just the only reason I was like, Coinbase was actually really good today. Like Coinbase breaking and giving $10 when Bitcoin can't move more than 1,000, actually pretty solid, I have to admit. I'm looking at this and saying, there's a pretty good level at that 160 and some buyers. I know it's just a volatility stock at this point, and it has made a bit of a move, but that's pretty clean. The last, when I look at that breakout style trade, 160. You also go back to the same setup we just showed for AMC, which was going back to afternoon resistance on Friday. Sorry, Friday, Monday doesn't really make a difference. A couple of days ago on the capitulation, there's your afternoon resistance. That's your pre-market high. It breaks out, and it never even retests it until it's filling the gap and going even past that into 172. So, those are the kind of breaks that I like to look for. Is it breaking multi-level resistance, up or down? You just take the trade, you put it on, some win, some lose. But that's a pretty clean one over there. And without any help from Bitcoin. Like, it's one thing if Bitcoin had just gone 40,000 to 44, but it didn't even need that today.
People want to, Bitcoin today, 40,600 right now, not doing a whole hell of a lot.
Not doing anything.
We talked about that. For everybody that's hating on Bitcoin, like Bitcoin's holding up during this market crash.
It's fine.
The market is literally in a bear market right now, and Bitcoin has been holding up, but Bitcoin did have a high of 66,000 or whatever it was, and now back down to 40. So, okay, here we go. Nice little super chat here from Jamie. Thank you so much again. Been trading for 7 years. Good. 3 times over a year. I'm not proud of it. 7 years. Found this show 6 months ago. I have made more money watching your show the last 6 months than the previous years combined. So we're going to go. There we go. That's exactly what we're talking about, Jamie. And the funny thing is, I had my best year ever last year with no negative months at all in all of 2021. And we'll try to do the same thing here in 2022. But I had my best year ever live with you guys here on the show. So, yeah, man, we're trading together. And thank you so much. That means a lot, man. And the same thing here. Ron Williams, shout you out as well, man. Same thing. Same thing. Good, good, good. Tweet these at me, man, and I'll retweet them, because this is what it's all about, man. This is what it's all about. That's why we're here. That's why you get a trader like Prad, who's only been trading 2 years, able to do what he's doing. That's why, I mean, a big shout out. What's up, Prad? Prad's on TV. We should tell him before he goes on there, guys. But whatever.
Looks like Marty McFly.
Up to you guys on that. But yeah, someone said that's his life jacket there.
No, because that's like the opening scene in Back to the Future, right? Like
yeah.
He goes, not the opening scene, but he goes back in the past, and they're like, "Why are you wearing the vest? Did you fall off the boat or something?"
That is actually exactly. That's a.
Do you know that? You know that movie though, right, Prad? You know what I'm talking about? Back to the Future.
He just pulled it out. So what he was doing was, I believe he's pulling the
I know what he's
ripcords
doing.
there.
I know what he's doing.
And exploding to the upside. But thanks again. And probably just another example there of we hire anybody, right? So there you go. But all right, I'll be back. I'm here tomorrow, guys. Don't worry, I'm here all week. And yeah, next week those jokes will be Arun and Neil's jokes to throw down. But there we go. Prad, we love you, Prad. Thank you again for the great show there. But yeah, we love it. Maybe I'll wear my vest tomorrow there. Prad McFly, great name.
It's not a bad name. I think we were settling on, Platinum Prad works pretty well. But it's a Tony nickname that I think I'm a little more interested. I know there's that Tony Tequila that got thrown around there. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think Tony the Tiger, the original, is where we got to go. And I know Tony had they got a big tournament going on tonight, and like he's probably the odds-on favorite.
Are you calling that a big tournament? The Magic cards? Is that what it is? Is there any money involved?
I'm being tongue-in-cheek there. You guys aren't playing for real? First of all, they're playing Magic the Gathering. Do you, man? There was a tournament years ago on this trading floor, Magic the Gathering. They went nuts for it. Do you? But I think Tony is the odds-on favorite. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I think it's pretty obvious, Greg, you're going to get crushed. UVS is not moving. I'm going to move my stop to 121 at this high. Look at it, barcode. It either breaks down in VWAP or we take out 121. We got 13 minutes to imbalances. So, look, obviously with this kind of volatility, I think there might be a few. I'd watch out, low-key, watch out for some of the gold miners. Like maybe you might actually see some Amex imbalances, but anything related to the metals could have a bit of an imbalance today after the Fed rallied the market there.
Yeah, we'll wait for that. Look, I can't even play Monopoly with my kids unless it's for money. So,
we used to do that in high school.
That's what, yeah, exactly.
Monopoly for money. We get 2 for 1
money.
Pizza. You know how it is.
Tony's not a bad one. I'm still all about Tony Toronto. That was the one for me. Neil likes Tony the Tiger.
The original.
And yeah, that was the original. Yeah, as soon as we saw him on there, I was like, this is Tony the Tiger. And yeah, kind of, he could keep that, but I don't know. Testarossa, Tony, that's a nice one too. Shout out to you, Alex Enzo. That's a good one, man. Blast from the past there, Testarossa. Okay, so just to update everything, man. Let's go. So right now, Facebook, we only have 10 minutes till the imbalances. It's been a real fun, man, like real fun. We were really jacked up here during these, and then, you know, now we've calmed down a bit as the market is sort of slowed down, but they're still trying to hit highs. We'll see what this imbalance is doing. Oh, right there, just 5 minutes ago, we got it from Trader Prad. This is again from Financial Juice, so nothing about that. It's 700 million sell side, so you can check that out if you did want to. And Arun talked about the imbalances yesterday, so this is them right here. They'll fill out. Of course, this is all from 9:30. If you're joining us for the first time, this will populate at 350. And then we just hope, if you're long, that these are all Bs. And if you're short, you hope they're all S's. So I'll explain a little bit more when that happens. It's just the closing trades about to come through for the market. And, you know, if you have a lot of inventory to sell, then obviously the markets should go to the downside. So that's the logic there. But to the downside, no more, as right here, we'll drop down some money as it's just falling into the lap right here. We've been sitting down doing nothing, and the money is coming through. So here it comes. Facebook up to 201 is where I'm thinking. And then if we can get a 202, then that'd be perfect, man. We'll close at the day's high, and we'll have a $7 winner.
Yeah, I'm just going to start to get close to flat. I was about to show you US Steel, but we just had that rollover in UAVS. It didn't have to break down. It could have broken up from there. Ultimately, now going to cancel my offer. I'm not going to be getting back into it. If it retests a high, it's probably going to break it. But I wanted to show some, we were talking relative strength and weakness, and I mentioned the metals for possible imbalances. There was sort of a method behind that a little bit. So, you know, U.S. Steel pulled all the way back into 31.80 here, like so a good $2 pullback, and then did rally with everything else, but not so much, not as strong, right? So some of those material names a little bit weaker in this rally, and worth noting because they've been on a bender. And look, U.S. Steel has been on a good one recently, but this top, triple top on the 15-minute. Yeah, what does that look like to you? Does that look like an interesting top? You show a little bit of a weakness overall after the Fed moved the markets. Now, I might be coming in tomorrow and thinking about some retracement plays off these, if it gets anywhere close to 34, obviously. But U.S. Steel showing some signs of relative weakness. Micron did give that first target. I want to be holding this for a potential break at the high. The VIX is at the low. The market tested the top. Usually I'd get out in front of the imbalances, but in this particular case, I want to try to hold through and just see if it can continue to rally. It has not been able to break out of that range. Morning, top to bottom is exactly the same thing. It's just rinse and repeating what happened here in the morning, but good chance that we can get a bit of a breakout. And if it doesn't happen today, all you got to do is look at this 80-50 level from last week. That's a great level as well for Micron. I'm loving the momentum that it's had in the chip space, but you can pick any of them really. Brendo?
Just noticing CAR here on the NASDAQ. That's a very large volume spike. If that actually did print, I'm going to go back and check, guys. But over 1 million shares there at day highs. Even CAR up 20%.
Yeah, that was Avis, right? I mean, we saw Avis go ham that one day on the short squeeze. Nothing but love to the upside for that one. That was like, whoa. There you're talking about Micron right there, up 8%. AMD today, oops, I got to say on this, but not on the chart. AMD only up that 5%, so it does look like Micron's going to be stronger. NVIDIA, we did have that $10 winner today. That's up 5%. As we just run through the gauntlet, Intel today, Intel up 5. Okay, so Intel the worst again, 3% up, but still nice levels here. We'll see if we can take out 47 on Intel, maybe 48 to the upside as well for that one. But yeah, that's the chip names. We really, really do like it. We really, really like SMH, as we've been buying into that name as this whoa, that's a NASDAQ name. We did that earlier, man. NQs, SMH has been good buys for us as well. Up to 260, that's all good. But look at Facebook right now, back up to the high of the day. Brendan mentioned Baidu at the high of the days as well. What's up, Ms. V?
Guys, as I said before, we got so many super chats today. Thank you, guys. And here's another one from Christina Neal. I have been watching you guys since July 2021. I am brand new to trading, and you all have taught me so much. I appreciate you all. I spend my entire day, every day with you all, my new family. Christina, thank you so much for this great super chat. It represents absolutely what I feel about community, what everyone in Trader TV Live family indeed feels about this. I wish you all the luck on your trading path. Please stay with us, and we love your trading family. Back to you guys.
Yeah, don't go anywhere, Christina. And thank you not only for the super chat, but also having your name spelled N-E-A-L. Validating the decision made by my mother. Because everyone always gets it wrong. It's one of those, look, it's unique and I love it, but everyone always gets it wrong. I just want to point something out because I know there's that volume spike on CAR there, and it's an impressive rally. It doesn't matter. 20% is 20%, but it looks like a bit of a dark pool print that I'm seeing for that volume spike. But with that move, I didn't think this would be true, but we're getting back to some big levels. And I know the stock went to $500. Let's try to forget about that a little bit. When things settled down on Avis, it got to this 320, which was a line in the sand at 320. We're about 10% away from that level. And I think, any chance that it can get there is a big one. It's got to get through 300 first. But we saw it go parabolic once, and that was on a pure short squeeze. So these things can't happen a second time. They don't go as far the second time, but they can happen a second time. UAVS will get it all out in probably the next couple of seconds here. It is starting to retrace all the way back in. Cancel my bid in front of $1. I still do believe, this could be $1 a bounce tomorrow as well. It gave you 2 cracks at it off $1. So, even if it gaps down, I like it to play off that $1 level, even if it happens to be a day 2 play. So let's see if we can't get a shot at that. I want to make sure you keep these on your list for tomorrow. I've added Avis to my list because 300 is juicy, 320 is juicy. That's asking a lot, but in this market, you just never say to yourself, oh, this is a good level. It can't get there. Not in this market, not this year. If you like the level, set an alert, put an order out if that's the way you go about it, because you absolutely never know, and you don't want to miss it. I didn't have my order out on Tesla, and it did go off 800. I don't want to see Avis at 300, and I don't look at it because I don't think it can go another 20 bucks.
Look, anyone can get me on CNBC, do it. What's up, Faisal? Yeah, we're trying to find out how we can grow. And then someone said, we'll take this, man. They think this is something. We are working on different thumbnails and everything. The bull thumbnail kept me away. So I'm going to actually copy this and take this to our next meeting. So thank you for that, because I agree on that. We should be changing that thumbnail. I don't know why it hasn't happened yet, but we'll do that. Advertise on Bloomberg? Yeah, we could do that. Come to us, Bloomberg. But right now, we actually, if you look at the numbers, like CNBC and those shows, they don't actually get that as many viewers as you think. If you look at the weekly numbers,
Bloomberg gets more than that. I don't know.
Compared to us, you can look that up. But there it is right now. Look, I believe that that's right, that our show is better than those for sure. And I'd love to grow to that capacity and then one day be on cable. I don't know. Nah, probably not.
Cable? Come on, man.
Yeah, cable, yeah.
I will say this.
I want a Netflix show. A camera following me around?
We love what we do, but let's keep one thing in mind. We're a trading show. So I don't want to take anything. It is what it is. Those are not trading shows. And if you want to sit there and talk about macro, and which matters, don't get me wrong, we'll talk about that stuff too. But overall, if a market move happens, we're not going to wait 30 minutes to talk about the stock that's going. We're going to jump over to it, trade it if we see a setup, show you what we see live, bring that news live to you as it's going on, because it's about active trading, which hey man, no one was doing.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to see anybody on CNBC do this, right? I mean, there's the, and look, honestly, guys, I mean, I'm sitting here putting these trades on. This is a $6 winner for Facebook right now. Like, we're holding these trades. Like, these are the big time wins that we're talking about. This is not scalping back and forth, man. This is PDT style right here. Buying Facebook, holding it, $6 in the money. Nvidia's $10 in the money. Facebook, another $5 in the money earlier, right? These are big trades. Palantir, 70 cents. Like, these are some good trades, man, and that's what it is. We are. Thank you. What's up, Austin, as well? Not only that, we're also giving investing as well, like Nucor. You guys know some of those plays that we've given out. Anyways, the market is what it is. How about this now? Facebook, $7 now in the money and starting to go to the upside right now. I said, could we get 202 on Facebook? That would be nice. We're long 195. That's a $7 winner right there on Facebook. So, hell yeah, we ain't flushing anything down the toilet today. Facebook, nice moves to the downside right here. And then Palantir also trying to take out the high. We got that 79 bid. It's still going. We do have an offer to get out if it breaks down through 60. So that is that Palantir. And again, guys, thank you for all the love and the support. For options, we do have Daniel Shea coming through tomorrow. That should be a lot of fun. So, yeah, we are rocking and rolling as we're losing our voice. But it's been such a monster day. And just thank you again for watching. Come back tomorrow.
Yeah, I just got out of UAVS, but with 2 minutes to go, I am still going to hold on to Micron through the 350. If we're going to break the highs, let's see what happens. If it's a buy and bounce, we could go absolutely crazy. Dominic, thanks for the super chat. I know we're the drone story that came a bit earlier. Going to talk UAVAV. I just got out of UAVS, but another name here. Look, my thoughts are on that spike. Ideally, I think you would have liked to see it break back above last week's highs. You know, you're going to see it get to that level, try to reclaim it a second time. Now you're closing a bit lower. It's a great consolidation if you look at it, because essentially the low volume week that it had is now held support at 79. It needs to take that consolidation and break out through 84 ultimately. Otherwise, you know, you're probably just going to go sideways for a couple of days here. So I'm looking 79 support, looks pretty solid here. The volume is not very good, so I don't think it really merits a trade for us for the rest of the day, but it should be on the radar. All those drone names moved. I just thought you had better opportunities in UA. Like, here's the thing. If you're day trading, good stock UAVA here, and that's fantastic. It gave you some runs overall, 79 to 81. But when I look at the reaction that UAVS had, if you're a trader, so it breaks out from 95 cents, makes a stop at 110, bounces off $1, goes to 110, bounces off almost $1 again, goes to 120 and pulls back almost to 110. Like, which trade is it easier to sort of figure out what the levels are going to be and then execute on? And it's going to be a UAVS, and that's why a trader gravitates toward trading setups more so than. Sure, it's maybe a sexier stock and maybe a better long-term hold. In fact, it almost certainly is, but that doesn't make it the better trade necessarily. So with just about 20 seconds to go to the imbalances here, we'll see what happens. We're not at the high of the day yet on Micron. It's getting pretty close. It just took 79's high of the day in about 50 cents. If we reverse off that high on a mixed imbalance, I'll probably just get out, but I'm hoping for a bid.
All right, here we go. Whoa, Robinhood with a big sell because they saw that I was robbing the market. So there it is. Robinhood right there with a big sell, down 3 million. I got you, Bradley. Look at Apple, though. Apple's a nice little bid there to the upside. Twitter's a sell. That thing can sell forever, it seems like. Zynga, I think that's a buyout or agreed upon. I don't know if it is official yet. Penn with the sell side there. That goes to DraftKings. Other than that, man, Apple with the bid up to, wow, Bradley, 159 for Apple. Good thing, yeah, baby. Good thing we took that off, man. And there it is. And that's the kind of advice we're talking about. Yesterday, man, Proud was talking about 150. We're like, cross that off there. And Mr. Offer Crosser, what was your name? Taker. Mr. Offer Taker was in the building. Let's find out what Robinhood did just now on that move down. Nothing. So Robinhood holding steady here off that imbalance. So it doesn't look like Robinhood wants to move. But there goes Facebook, man, through that 202. Now, brand new highs of the day. And now this is fruit salad time. It's a little bit late in the day for the fruit salad. Normally that's morning, but that's the kind of stuff that we're on right now. And it's just a fire cannon kind of day. We've made so much. We're now 4 times off that bottom from where we were, guys, and we were positive. So it's a big move to the upside here for us. We're just letting this roll. I just wish we let everything roll to the upside. But hey, we got to hit some home runs, scalp some, right? And then start looking that gift horse in the mouth, guys. Big time trades right here.
Yeah, I'm going to put a trail in now. we'll see if we can hold till the end of the day, but I am going to put a trail in 78.75 there, just to that 3/4 mark. I didn't really see too many imbalances in the chip space. It really just is Robinhood, Twitter, and Apple, from what I can tell. CCL is like 1 million shares, but I didn't really see anything about CCL that stood out. Oh, now you're not going to load up? Oh, no. Come on. There you go. It just broke out, but really it was in the midst of a break anyway, so I know it spiked up 5 cents. But CCL had come off the bottom $1. Not really much of a trade there. That kind of a thing, if you see a big imbalance, that's a little bit sexier on a buy imbalance if you can catch it off VWAP or off support. At that high of the day, you only see it goes 5 cents. I think that might be why. Still going to the upside with everything else, and we didn't really even talk about travel names. And here we are looking at CCL up 7%. So rising tide lifting all ships today, mostly led. Mostly that I see you, look, Grant, XPEV, look, we can't talk every single stock in the market. Like, we're not shortchanging anything. We've mentioned a lot of these, the Chinese names. We showed NIO a couple of times there. We've talked about Tesla in the EV space. We've talked about Alibaba breaking 100. It's nothing against XPEV. But JD's up 31% too. Like, it's just, I get it. I know they're all up 20 to 30%. Nothing against XPEV. It's breaking out of the highs just like NIO was as well. So basically following the same chart. And I think if you looked at any of those names and executed it, you're right back and now breaking last Friday's levels. So some overhead resistance maybe at $30 for XPEG in general, but an impressive day by it as well.
Yeah, just thanks for watching again, guys. I mean, it's been such a monster day. There's so many huge winners. I mean, here's the watch list of stocks that I look at. I'm trying to hold this so you can see. I don't know if you can see this better, but these are the stocks that I'm looking at here. Look at Alibaba, 37, NIO, 26, Roku, 12, UiPath, 11, Twilio, 11, Roblox, 9. It just goes and goes and goes. There's an Nuvea there, Nuvea down there for up 10%, another name. Even DraftKings up that 13%, Starbucks up 5. I mean, all of these names rocking and rolling. You got to scroll all the way down to the bottom to see. And I'm looking at like decent names here, guys.
What's down?
That's what I'm going to say right now. Marijuana company, yeah, forget about that. J&J down 1%. Rogers down 1%. Other than that, man, nothing.
Oh, Oxy.
Nothing to worry about. Oh, well, yeah, I'm not looking at Oxy. And then there's my XLE. That's ZEO. That's the name that I have there. AbbVie's been a monster for me. So yeah, nothing. Nucor, we got out at 140 the other day, down to 135 again. So yeah, I mean, things are rocking. There's really nothing red today. And when that happens, you know, you may want to take some profit. This is a very, very euphoric day in the market. But to say we didn't call it would be a lie. We did call this move over the last week. I said it was going to be a monstrous move into the Fed, and there it is. Man, you want to talk about a move? It's 3.5% to the upside right now on the NASDAQ. Today, as Ice Cube said, is a good day. $7 now. We have a $5 winner on Facebook and now a $7 winner at different times of the day. We like it. We like it a lot. Big day for us here today at Trader TV Live.
Yeah, we'll take it. The bounce is going to update in about 15 seconds. 355 is that next leg. At this point, the only thing to do would be to move the trailing stop. So I move it from 75 to 79 and then try to hold into that close. Could put, if there was a buy and bounce, I could put it in the closing auction, but no need to do that. Just going to keep moving the trailing stop.
Wow.
Target as market continues to try to go higher, and that's what it's all about. AMD, which is the other name, it's still, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is if something is fighting resistance with the market doing what it's doing now, then it's definitely giving you a bit of a level. And you are seeing both AMD and Micron at these highs of the day, and they're checking up a little bit here. So right off that 115.5 or so, Micron, same thing. I'm now moving my stop to 79.25. I just was putting it to 79. Now it's the next quarter up. We'll see if we can hold on. Nothing really changed there. Twitter actually stayed a big sell, oddly enough. So I may check that stock out.
All right, with only 4 minutes to go, I wonder who's going to be on the bell today. Is it going to be Tony the Tornado? Or is it going to be Miss V? Yeah, we're going to see who it is. Maybe it's going to be Randy on the bell. Who knows what we're going to do today. But again, guys, thank you so much for all the love today. As there goes Facebook back up to 203. I'm just sitting here waiting for the markets to close. Let's do this, which is the worst. I hate when markets close, but they do. Okay, Twitter. I mean, at least it gets me away from my desk. Twitter, 3 million to sell, still there. So we can have, well, I don't know why it does that. There it goes. We'll switch it over. Oh, yeah, see, now everything's frozen up. So Twitter here, we'll click it one more time. This is the day chart, but we'll find out what Twitter's doing. Still at 3 million sell. What up, Beep?
A few minutes to go, guys. We'll wrap things up, have a look at what is to come both aftermarket tonight And before the open tomorrow, some notable names for earnings.
I mean, well, we talked about Williams-Sonoma that you mentioned,
Yeah.
and then Hut 8 just because maybe the last
Hut 8 was not there before.
It was there.
Was it?
Yeah, we
Oh,
mentioned
okay,
Hut 8.
okay.
It was there before. And then Dollar General, I know Randy was shouting that one out there. Sometimes you get some action, but let's be real. Chip names in China stocks tomorrow. Tech, obviously. That's what everyone's going to be concerned about. So maybe Williams-Sonoma makes a move. I don't know that I'd prefer a retail name to one of those three categories tomorrow. That's where the bangers have been. I'm just watching Twitter because it's still 2.7 million to sell, and it's at the high of the day. Does bear watching if it can hold up in the next couple of minutes there. I don't know if I'd put a scalp trade on, but interested that it hasn't paired off. Usually it's done that by now.
I keep asking for that beat, Lucas. This would be a perfect time to play that beat. Yeah, as he's laughing over there. When are we getting that beat? Give the people what they want, Lucas. But anyways, we'll just hit the money bags right now. There it is, coming out. We're not letting any money out of our bags today, as there's Palantir now at day's high. We did hold for that. I wish we held the whole bag, but we didn't. To the upside, now $7. And I'm just letting Facebook ride. I can't, it's too late for me to put the market on close order in for NASDAQ, so we'll just take the closing print and see where it goes from there. We'll just wait for it. It might not be too late. I just looked, I don't have my key set up, so I don't have that. So we'll wait for that one. But Facebook right now it's officially right there. There it is, man. We'll hit the free throws. $7. By the way, I'm on the Raptors -1 tonight in LA. Clippers, they just destroyed the Lakers. I had that play as well. That was -5, and I had the Raptors, who wound up, they were winning by 35 in the first quarter. Okay, like, again, LeBron James, he just plays for himself. You know, it is what it is. But here we go.
That team's not doing anything.
Yeah, so that's what I mean, and LeBron James is like, whatever. Well, we love LeBron James. But here we go. Up to the upside goes Facebook, starting to make the new day's high as we go. The market is up 3.5% now, and still Rip City. So let's just keep on going, man. NVIDIA's back to where we got out initially at 244. So NVIDIA just does not stop going, man. We talked about the chip names, monstrous. These are these NVIDIA buys. Too bad we didn't have that all. But someone said before, don't worry, Sean, you can't kiss all the babies. But I would have liked to have done that down there at 232, man. That NVIDIA trade was hot fire. Yeah, what a big day today. And I just hope that you guys had a good one as well.
I'll get one last question in. Felipe, you asked about Caterpillar, and anybody that talks about like a death cross or a golden cross, worth mentioning here. It hasn't made the golden cross yet, by the way. The 50 getting back above that 200, but it looks like it's about to happen. If we can do this the next, another strong or at least flat day, try to be up, we can have that happen. But let's remember, cyclical names back down. It's down today. It's not a guarantee you're going to get that move continuing, because it has been the tech rally. CAT it's in that other category that could start to pull back a little bit here, be relatively weak. But you are right. Nice little golden cross possibly coming. I would hold off. Let's see what happens in the next couple of days as things settle down, because it didn't make the breakout today. You want it to happen, but just not yet.
Bing bong. Bing
Both
bong.
of them are on the bell.
Bing bong. There we go. $8 winner on Facebook. There's Tony. He's dancing with only 5 seconds to go. $8 on Facebook. 2 and 1. There it is. Yeah, Tony, thank you so much for that one. And look, guys, we got a little silly there at the end of the day. That is $8 there, clean on Facebook. So there's the biggest winner right there, $8. That was a good idea. But next time, we'll try to hold a little bit more. Thank you to Tony. Thank you to Miss V. You guys rock. Brendo, I feel like the market was up today.
Good one. Very much so. What a reversal off the lows we saw. Following that rate decision, there it is, 3.7 for the NASDAQ. What a day. 2.25% for the S&P, the Dow 1.2. Even cryptos had a nice move late in the day there, right back through to day highs anyways for Bitcoin. But these numbers, guys, on top of what we saw yesterday, so a pretty good week so far.
Yeah, we're going to finish. Obviously, crude is going to be to the downside. That's kind of what I was sort of getting at with the Caterpillar. I get it. It looks good on the chart, but anything that's down today, you got to put in a bit of perspective. And some of those cyclical defensive type of names aren't going to be faring as well. So let the move happen. If it wants to go up from there, fine. Just be patient. Twitter, by the way, did end up making a big fall in that sell imbalance. So there was an opportunity. If you did grab it at that close, you see it now spiked down and actually printed down about 25 pennies at the end. So good move in Twitter. You don't usually see those imbalances stick around like that.
No, that was a good move. And yeah, we had an absolute monster day. We have to stop talking about it. It doesn't really matter. We finished at the highest spot we've been at all day. We'll be back tomorrow. That's the important thing. It doesn't matter how much money you make today because that's done. So, or lost. Whatever you made or lost today, you'll be back tomorrow. And if you're with us, we're here today and tomorrow and the next day and every single day the market's open. That's Trader TV Live. I want to give a big thanks to Trader Prad holding down the show in the midday. And thanks for all the jokes in good spirits there, Prad. Thank you to Miss V again, the hardest working lady in show business. That's for sure. Is this show business? I don't know. I feel like when Miss V's on the camera, it is. That's for sure. Thank you to Lucas. Thank you to Randy over there. Big shout out to Mark as well working. I don't know if Rob was on the ones and twos today. Did I see Rob today? No, I didn't. Okay, so he wasn't here. Yeah, he's in the chat there today. Thank you to that. Thank you to the guys on the floor as well. And then a big thanks to Brendan. I mean, Brendan, what a crazy day that was.
Yeah, exciting though. I mean, as expected, but here we go. As we were talking over the past couple of days, Sean, right back to the upside.
Yeah, and a big shout out to everybody too, because someone put out that I was called that move in the semis, the Sox L, and it's a big move there. I don't know, I'd get out, man. I think this was a big flush opportunity tomorrow, but we'll see if it does give back a nice 4% day. But regardless, enjoy your Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
I said Tuesday.
Right, that's why I was like a little bit confused.
That was my
Top day. We're back tomorrow when it's Thursday. So have a great evening. Have some fun. We're going to have some fun with the kids tonight as well. It's Trader TV Live. We're back at 8:30 tomorrow. Ciao, guys.